the one who will live on those houses are stealth house. So in the end, hindi kayo mababago doon sa materials design na inapprove ng LIAC. Now, the question, again, ulitin ko, sa NHA, ang tanong is, during that time, hindi ba ninyo pwedeng i-recommend yung traditional housing units that it is made of concrete na kailangan na design? That is my question to NHA. During that time, hindi ba ninyo po pwedeng i-recommend or i-insist that the design should be concrete so that it will be a resilient house for the IPs? Please, anong sagot po?
Your Honor, yung houses on stilts as planned by Planades, originally talaga we designed it to be concrete. Kaya lang, when we came up with the computations, we can only generate 933 units vis-a-vis the need of more than 3,240 units, Your Honor. Kaya we wrote the PWH that we need 1.2 billion in order for us to meet the target number for the houses on stilts that will be using concrete. But we have not received any response, and so we have housing on stilts in our IP housing, Your Honor, and they have been built since 2012. 2014 na po pinag-uusapan, wala po kaming narinig na any accident or any disastrous doon sa aming housing on stilts na nakalubog naman po sa water. So, we nag-decide po ang ating DPWH na i-approve na wood na po ang gagamitin doon sa housing on stilts. Ganun po ang nangyari. And then, kaya po housing on stilts kasi po mga badyaw po ang nakatarget na ititira doon. And bilang culturally sensitive, the badyaws are more, mas ano sila sa wood kaysa po sa concrete. Mas gusto po nila na wooden po yung kanilang bahay. So, ganun po ang naging proseso sa design po.
Hindi naman ninyo ni-recommend to relocate them na lang. That is not part of any plan, yung bang relocation of those people living on danger zone. We can consider that as a danger zone, di ba? Kasi pag tinamaan ng typhoon, then they will be the one first to be hit. So the question is, again, hindi nyo kinonsider or ni-recommend that this is not to become a very resilient house. Kaya pwede ba natin i-relocate na lang sila sa upland? There's no plan like that.
At that time, Your Honor, ang aming na-identify po na relocation site is Tulungatong. Pero most of the badyaws, may affinity po sila sa water, kaya mas gusto nilang magstay doon. And then at that time, hindi pa po namin na-acquire yung malaking property, which is the Chowhim property, na siya ngayon ang site ng aming Valley Vista, phases 1 to 4. At that time, hindi pa po namin na-acquire. It took us more than a year na na-acquire po yung property. Kaya we built on the nasunugan po sa Mariki. So we started with our housing on stilts sa Mariki, and then we have another housing on stilts sa Taluk Sangay na it was started also in 2014 na until na naman po very sturdy naman po yung kanilang mga bahay. Mismo pong barangay kasi po ang nag-maintain po ng kanilang houses on stilts.
Okay, so the material doon sa binabanggit ninyong mga previous design ninyo ng stealth house is the same material ba na ginamit ninyo ngayon dito sa questionable area?
I understand, Your Honor, na yung aming mga naunang houses on stilts ay gumamit po ng apitong. Kaya lang, nung nagkahigpitan na po yung DNR noong 2015, hindi na po namin magamit yung apitong. Kaya ginamit na lang po yung acacia manjung for the posts. And then for the bracings po, yung gemelina. So yung nakalubog po sa tubig is acacia manjung po. And then yung gemelina naman po, yung sa ginamit sa mga cross bracings.
During the previous designs ninyo, it's a combination of two materials. Not like ngayon na it's purely a gemelina material. combination pa rin. So, what do you think the reason why it becomes prone for damages dito sa new design na ginawa ninyo compared do sa previous 2012 na ginawa ninyong design na stealth house?
Kasi po marami pong nawawala ng mga parts like doon po sa footbridge, nawala po yung mga cross bracings
No,
doon.
we're not talking about the footbridge. We're talking about the house na lang muna because yung footbridge can easily be answered. Yung about sa mga houses, ang issue natin dito eh. Ano ang tingin ninyong reason kung you say that it's the same material was used? How come we are now have this hearing that stating that those housing units has questionable strength?
Your Honor, yung gamit po namin kasi, nung una, we were able to use more harder na spacey because nga of the ban, and we settled for lesser na spacey like Acacia Manjum for the posts and then Gemelina for the
Again, I just want to ask, how urgent do you need these housing units during that time?
Marami na pong namamatay po sa mga sa mga evacuation centers. So it was really urgent to complete the houses on stilts for the families na Badjaus who are living, nasa na lang po sila sa evacuation centers po nakatira, and talagang marami pong namamatay. So na rin po kami, it was really expressed to us na kailangang matapos na po yung aming housing projects.
As of now, Mr. Chair, I don't have any more questions, but later on I wish
May I
to...
just follow-up question, Architect? You mentioned that dun sa poste, hindi Gemelina ginamit?
Acacia Manjum po.
Acacia
Manjum. Ito po
Manjum.
yung
ang ginamit dun sa poste.
specifications po. Opo.
Ito rin ba ang ginamit dun sa footbridge?
Yung sa...
Acacia Manjung?
Yun po ang aming ini-specify.
So, in other words, yun ang ginamit sa footbridge?
Opo, Acacia Manjum, and then for diagonal bracings, girder and floor joist of footbridges, Acacia Manjum, flooring of footbridges, Gemelina mahogany, wooden post for housing on stilts, Acacia Manjum, all other structural members, Gemelina mahogany. Yun po yung aming specifications.
Nandito yung presidente ng limestone, no? Is he here? Yes. Can you please come forward? May I know if you used the said materials on the footbridge, Mr. Lim? The specification that was mandated by NHA was the materials was just mentioned by the architect. Yun ba yung ginamit natin?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yun yung ginamit?
Apo.
I have a copy of your contract. And there are 920 pieces of wooden post. Ang nakalagay kasi dito sa kontrata is a Gemelina or its equivalent. Right? So,
Yes, Your Honor.
the first materials that is actually being requested by NHA is Gemelina.
Apo.
So, paano sinasabi ngayon ng NHA, iba daw ang ginamit sa poste. So, which is which? Gemelina ba ginamit nyo o yung Acacia Manjum yung sinasabi?
No, kindly take the
Take over.
come forward.
Technical. Engineer, mukhang ikaw yata nakakaalam lahat, ah.
Hindi naman, sir. Your Honor, yung on our part, yung sa footbridge namin, we just followed what is, kung ano yung sa specifications. In fact,
So, ito
every day-
Gemelina.
Yes, sir. Pero may mga halo kaming wood yung recommended wood katulad nung kay sa Manjung. Kung yung nag-short na, Gemini na yung iba, pero kukonti lang. And besides, we have that inspector also from our counterpart from the lead agency that every day we put all those structures, chinecheck na kung po pwede o hindi. So kung hindi, sinasabihan naman kami, hindi. So we remove the members of the footbridge. Yung kung hindi po pwede yung plants, ganito yung material.
Sa kontrata nyo, Gemelina nakalagay eh.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
can I just all the resource person be put under oath? Naka-oath na sila. And anyway, can I just ask, is this the same person that testified to us last hearing?
Yes,
Well,
yes, yes.
I am just wondering, because he's answering questions now, but the last time he was here, he said he's just been in the company for 2 months or in a short period.
Yes, that's
How
true,
come
Your
he's
Honor.
now answering the questions that is
2
way
years ago.
before he is with
Paano mo
us?
nalalaman eh? Dalawang buwan ka pa
Yes, Your
nandyan.
Honor. After that accident, we talked with the technical, with the site engineers. Of course, that's my obligation also to research. Hindi yung ako lang maghihintay bibigyan ng data. Kaya nga ako si Swedlon, I have to do my work. So kung anong nangyari doon, kung anong
Mr.
ganito.
Chairman, he's not privy. So I guess the president should be answering it, not him.
Yes. May we call back the president? Just Mr. Lim. I assume pinag-usapan nyo rin naman yan ni engineer, di ba?
Apo.
Kasi ang sabi ng NHA kanina, pagdating sa poste, ibang species ang ginamit. But based on the contract, sa nakikita ko dito, ang specification is Gemelina. So, ang tanong ko ngayon, ano ang species ginamit nyo?
Alam ko po, may mga mangroves po kaming gamit sa mga poste.
Mangroves.
Apo.
Mr. Chair,
Tapos sa cross
Mr. Chair, di ba bawal yung mangrove?
Hindi yun.
Hindi ba?
Hindi po yun.
Di ba bawal?
Hindi
Yung mangrove?
Acacia po.
Acacia,
Acacia,
hindi
opo.
mangrove. So,
Hindi.
Mangroves. Sorry po.
baka pag sinabi namin bawal yung acacia, magbago uli yan.
Mr. Chair, kanina pa ako naghihintay, nakalista ako, pero okay lang.
Okay.
For asking questions.
Anyway, I think you're next on line. I just wanna check because the testimonies here being remember everybody's under oath. NHA mentioned that may ibang species ginamit para sa poste, and obviously parang sinasabi nila, we agree, ang Gemelina hindi pwedeng gamitin as a post dahil mas mahina siyang wood. So we use a different species. Pero upon reviewing the contract, wala naman nakalagay dito na Gemelina nakalagay or its equivalent. No? So that's why I'm asking you kung ano ang ginamit nyo pagpatayo ng mga poste. And you're saying is acacia?
Apo, yung sa poste po, yung nakalubog po sa tubig.
Lahat ba ng poste? Kanina sabi ng engineer, hindi lahat.
Hindi po eh, hindi po lahat. Kung ano lang po yung availability ng wood. Kung anong pwedeng ipalit.
Kung ano pwedeng ipalit sa... Ano ba mas maraming availability? Yung Gemelina? Okay, Mr. Lim. Alam niyo ba yung presyo nung acacia, ano yun? Manjum? Magkano yun? At saka magkano yung Gemelina?
Pwede po yung mga technical na lang po namin.
Hindi, ito na lang. Regional RD, ikaw.
Ganoon rin po, no? Mga pero lesser siya doon sa Gemelina, yung Acacia Mangyum.
Mas mura pa yun?
Siguro mga 30 siguro or between 25 to 30. Yung Acacia Mangyum.
Yung acacia manjum,
Yeah.
mas mura.
Kaunti po.
Konti.
Opo.
At yung strength nito, mas matibay ba to?
More or less, kasi mga fast-growing species po sila, Gemelina, Mahogany, and Acacia Mangyum. These are introduced fast-growing species. So kung i will be treating yung strength niya, more or less parehas po ang mga strength nila. Mas strength, stronger lang yung strength. Siguro kaunti lang itong Gemelina, being a family ng Pabasi, yung tick. Tickwood, yes.
So, may difference. So in other words, we used a weaker species for post. NHA, you mentioned ang ginamit sa mga poste, acacia manjum. Based sa DNR natin, mas mahinang kahoy yun.
the time nung March 31, 2015, yun po ang napag-agrian sa LIAC meeting. Yung mga spaces na yun po ang na-specify. And we have a recording of that March
Yeah,
31, 2015 meeting, Your Honor.
Well, yung nga sinasabi ko kanina eh. I think pag nakikita natin na may pagkakamali, tinuturo natin napag-agrihan naman yan eh. Sinabi naman ng liyak na po pwede. So I think at the end of the day, how do we hold people accountable? Right? NHA will have a bigger role to play. Particularly because they are the lead agency in this project. Yes. Congressman Celso.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. If you recall the last meeting, it was when we discussed the change of specifications that we asked for the minutes of the LIAC meeting. And up to now, we don't have a copy of the LIAC meeting because apparently now the statements are conflicting. And so we really have to see, look or hear what was discussed in the LIAC meeting. And we also have to know, because when we asked last time, was this discussed in the LIAC meeting, the people from LIAC said, we will have to check our records. Now, where are the records? Was there a resolution from the LIAC approving the change of specification or not? These are questions that we really need the answers. And we can only get those answers if we hear the recording, which I suppose NHA said they had the recordings. So, yeah. So I would move, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chair, I move that we hear first the recording of the LIAC meeting so that we will know who really is telling the truth or not.
Yes. For the information of the committee, we received already the minutes of the LIAC meeting. I think it's with us already. They were submitted today. Mayor Beng, yes, and then we will proceed.
Your Honors, we're really here to expedite this, and we want to focus again on House Bill 1709. Yesterday, unknown to the members of Congress, Regional Trial Court Pasig Branch 158 just issued the release of 96 MNLF fighters in the 2013 Zamboanga siege. Unfortunately, because of our dedication and our strong desire to really find justice in this hearing, that's why we are here. I, as mayor, have been deprived to be with my people. So I really ask most urgently and pray to the members of Congress that please let us review and find culpability and accountability, because that is what we are asking for. Nire-release na po yung mga MNLF pagkatapos ng siege. Hindi pa tayo tapos dito sa hearing natin. So hinihiling po namin na bigyan din naman ako ng pagkakataon maging mayor. Meron po kaming resolution earlier, and with the permission of the honorable body, may I ask Attorney Carbon to read it because we have submitted all the documents, Your Honors.
Yeah, okay, please proceed. And then NHA, can yung videotape ng regarding the topic that we're discussing, maybe we can play that afterward. Go ahead, Attorney Carbon.
Good morning, Your Honors. We have here the minutes of the December 30, 2014 meeting of LIAC, where this matter was taken up. Unfortunately, we could not locate the minutes of the meeting mentioned by Attorney Cruz. We are trying to look for it. That was allegedly March 15, 2015 meeting. We have an earlier minutes. I was hesitant to read this because my name is here. Also present were Mr. Ben Akana, CNR Officer East, and Mr. Pilarito Montibon, CENR Officer West. During the meeting, I raised this issue. Attorney Carbon raised concern about the materials as he asked that there might be a time when there will be no more materials to be used in the construction. Engineer Sikat replied that it's one of the questions raised by one of the contractors if there is a substitute for the malambayas, a post that is similar species to bakawan, which is used to dig below for purposes of putting up post because there might be a shortage, lack of stock of this material. With
Attorney,
this, Dr. Apolinario explained that they were shown a picture during their meeting that there is an area in Hulo that has an abundance of the aforesaid material. Then Mr. Ben Akana of CNR Officer West informed the committee that as of now, they have a standing executive order number 23, which is a moratorium of cutting trees in natural and residual forest, which is still in effect. DNR will not issue permit for the cutting of trees within residual and natural forest. He said that what they are using now are all planted trees. However, they have learned from Pinro of Tawi-Tawi that they have special permit now issued by the IRMM because they are now engaged in nickel mining. They have to cut the trees in order to get materials of mining. Accordingly, they were issued permit for timber. So anytime by January, Tawi-Tawi could supply us with this legal source. Then Mayor Climaco said, afterwards, City Mayor commented that as long as they have the source, they will leave it to the NHA to coordinate with the contractors in far as LIAC is concerned. We have no copy of the minutes mentioned by Attorney Cruz. At
Attorney-
least we could not find it.
yeah, Attorney Carbon, just one clarification. You mentioned that it was raised by one of the contractor. Dito, nakalagay, raised by one of the contractor if there is a substitute for the malambayas. So, in other words, yung contractor po nandun sa meeting?
We are checking the minutes, Your Honor.
Kasi nakalagay po dito that a contractor raised the issue. Sa minutes, Engineer Sikat replied that it's one of the questions raised by one of the contractors. So, yeah. In other words, I'm just like to point out, and I'd like to be clarified. Because this process, kumbaga, hindi pa decided what species to be used. Right? In other words, this meeting is where we will decide kung gagamitin natin ang original specification na yakal or something else or different. Right? It was in this meeting that we were tackling that issue. But the minutes also say that a contractor raised the issue. So in other words, identified na yung contractor bago pa to mapalitan. Based on sa testimony ng NHA that the contractor came after it was decided. So again, I would just like to be clarified. Was the contractor on board already before this species was changed or after?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
may I know if that is the minutes of the meeting of March 15?
They cannot
Because
find
we are
March.
discussing March 15 minutes of the meeting where NHA says that the DNR approve or recommend another species of
Yes.
material.
Yeah, I think Attorney Carbon was reading December
December 30, 2014.
December
Your
13,
Honor.
2014, which I
Earlier
just
than
prompted
the
the
March.
question.
Moment, Mr. Chair. What
so-
we're discussing is March, not
Yes,
December.
and I think I remember that we gave Attorney Carbon the floor or to be able to read the statement of these minutes, and then we will move on to NHA to play the recording. I was just kind of wanted to be clarified because the testimonies that I've been hearing that the contractor was awarded the project after all of this has been settled. Kumbaga, na-decide na i-substitute ang Yakal with Gemelina, kaya yung pricing changed, and that was the award that we gave the contractor. But in this case, parang on board na sila bago papalitan eh. So in that case, it would have reflected the original price. Okay, so NHA, let's go back dahil ito pong topic natin regarding the statement of DNR allowing the use of these materials. We couldn't find a written transcript, but I think we have an audio, right? So is that the meeting of the LIAC?
Your Honor, this is the March 31 meeting of the LIAC.
Which
March
is
31.
what I think
Yeah, 2015.
2015.
Opo.
Okay, please proceed. Well, before that, we'd like to recognize, of course, our Congressman Winnie Costello and Congressman Lacson.
Play ko na po.
Baka yung contractors, I think the contractor of Gulf Canary is here. Pwede na nyong kausapin yung supplier nyo na from this point onwards, Gemelina, Mahogany, ano pa yung sa San Robert? Acacia Magnum, and other commercial species, tree plantation species, yun na yung gamitin nyo. From NHA din, kung wala naman siya suspects na sinasabi na lawaan, baka pwede yun. Based on our specification, what is specified is the post of the housing on still, which is the bullion. And then all the rest are specification is only good lumber. Good lumber, which covers all the lumber as long as it's good. It's good. But it didn't say prohibited. All the options, so no specification really. Only for the post. Yung post San Ruben, pan species din ba yun? Hindi. Pan species. No. So, ano yung alternative doon? Yung Gemelina could be a good substitute. Kasi Gemelina is a species under family siya ng Verbinacini. That is a Mulabi species. Sir, even though it is a course sa tubig. Okay, ano? Just like Camila. Okay.
Yes, so
Mr. Chair, is there any more recording?
May mahaba po kami, kailang masyadong mahaba po. So we have...
Okay, so doon pa lang. Okay, sige. So who's the one asking the question? Sino yung...
si Engineer Jojo Sikat po yung nagsasalita. No?
Yung nagsasalita? Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, please. Mr. Chairman, please.
Yes, Kong Celson and Kong Winnie.
My question is, this was discussed. Was this approved or recommended by the LIAC, or there was no action? This was discussed thoroughly.
Yeah.
And so, what was the outcome?
Is the policy making body for the Z3R. So whatever will be decided upon, ina-adapt na po namin yon.
It was decided by the LIAC to approve whatever recommendation there was to use a change of material. Is that correct?
Mr. Chair, that is why I'm asking the continuity of the radio recorded, because I want to hear who approves it, because I believe in the end, somebody will say that what we have agreed has been approved.
I'm not sure whether it was formalized that way. I think during that time, medyo informal yung mga meetings noon eh. Hindi naman that goes to a motion and like what we do in our hearings.
Later on, when we go to the 6-5, I will show you that there are motions.
Yeah. Okay. Was there a motion to change the specification? And if ever so, I think the body took off from the recommendation of DNR that said, I think parang similar ang strength. Did they say similar in strength, or was it mentioned na po pwedeng sa tubig?
Mr. Chair, I believe during the last meeting, they say that this housing units is urgent, that it is needed badly. So I believe impossible that there's no approval after that meeting.
But I assume it was approved, no? Whether it was done formally or informally, the body discussed it, and my assumption it was approved, which is why it was carried out for its implementation. So whether in-approve yan in a formal manner or fashion or hindi, mukhang may approval talaga sa kanila. No?
Mr. Chair,
Okay.
can I know
Yes.
if the voice from the tape recorder, the engineer, is it from NHA or DPWH? Who is
I
that
think
person?
Attorney Sikat yun. Engineer Sikat.
Engineer Sikat of the
I think he's here
City
from
Planning
the local
Office.
government.
From the,
LGU.
from the LGU.
Then from NHA, sir, our district technical head, Engineer Reynaldo Bulayog.
Yes.
Then from DNR is Senro Ben Akana.
Okay. Okay, so let's move forward. I think as far as whether it was approved or not, by default it was approved. So, but yeah, we'd like to recognize Kong Winnie. And
Yes,
then
for
Kong-
purposes of clarity, the recording that was played a while ago was a transcription, a recording of the LIAC meeting. Is that correct, ma'am? And I think what the recording would want to portray is that the LIAC decided that we use ultimately the Geminina.
Yes po.
And Geminina, you have spoken a while ago, is an inferior quality for purposes of stilt because it would not be able to withstand water. Is that correct, ma'am?
To DNR po.
The DNR. So despite the fact that it was inferior quality for purposes of housing on a stilt, the LIAC decided to push through with the project.
Your Honor, if we hear the full audio, the DNR then said that Gemelina and the other wood species would withstand being the same.
Are you saying that the
full
DNR
audio,
now,
it will be,
the
we can hear
DNR now
the,
is contradicting themselves right now because sabi nyo, if we would play the recording, there was a further conversation that they believe Geminina would be able to withstand water. Yan ba sinasabi nyo po? Pero
Yes po.
right now, DNR testified before this committee that is inferior quality of wood that the safety would be compromised if we use them. So why, despite the fact that DNR opined that it is inferior, the LIAC still continued with the project using an inferior quality. So I think that is a very relevant observation that the committee has now extracted. Thank you very much,
Just
Mr. Chairman.
follow-up question. Ma'am, it was at that meeting that you decided to change the specification.
Your Honor.
So, it was at that point where the original specification was Yakal.
Plan po, pero
Kaya nga, at that
Opo.
point, Yakal pa rin. Before that meeting, yung specification for the project is to use Yakal materials.
Sa plan po, Your Honor. Kaya lang nung nag-canvas nga po, hindi na po available
Kaya nga,
yung
pero
yakal.
at that point, hindi pa napapalitan dahil hindi nyo pa na-present sa liyak eh. So, ang original specification is still yakal. Tama? At then, during that meeting, sabi nyo, walang supply, so palitan natin ng alternative. My question to you, during that meeting, March 31, 2015, na-award na ba yung contract?
Yes po, Your Honor. Yung first namin na na Mariki, asan na ba yun? Ito. The first project namin na Mariki, Your Honor, was awarded on August 20, it started on August 29, 2014.
So awarded na yung contract.
Opo.
Magkano yung contract price?
38 din po ang gamit doon sa contract. Yung
The contract price.
total contract price, 144 million po.
144 million.
Opo.
Okay. So, hindi nagpalit yung contract price. It stayed at 144 million.
Your Honor, kasi nakabase naman po yun sa cost, prevailing cost at that time sa market, which is only 38 pesos.
So, yung 38 pesos at that time, was the original specification was yakal. Tama?
Yes po. Opo.
So, yung yakal at that time, based on your estimate, was at 38 pesos.
No, Your Honor, but it's not available.
Tayo mo na. Yung contract price, okay, was at 38 pesos per board feet. Diba? Pero, ang original materials, dapat yakal. So, when you estimated yakal as the materials, you put 38 pesos dahil hindi nagbago eh. Diba?
I may, Your Honor. Kasi nung nag-estimate kami, Your Honor, nag-canvas kami, wala po talagang available yakal and tambulian sa local market.
Ang tanong ko kasi, ang estimate natin was 38 pesos per board feet. Yun yung contract price eh. 144 million, ang sabi natin. Ang specification originally ay gumamit ng yakal na materyales. Tama?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So, during that time, nung sinabi natin gagamitin natin yakal, ang estimate on budget natin doon was 38 pesos per board feet.
Ang ginamit po kasi namin spec, sir, is yakal or its equivalent. So, nung nag-canvas kami, doon kami sa equivalent na punta, good lumber, 38 pesos.
Okay,
per
pero at that time,
board feet.
ang canvas nyo ng yakal is 38 pesos. Alam po natin ngayon, kalahati lang ang presyo eh.
Mr. Chair, that is
Wala po
impossible.
sa
Mr. Chair,
market, sir.
Mr. Chair, just to follow
Yes,
up.
Congressman Paduan.
Anyway, si GM Chito kanina, he stated na natigil lang yung yakal dahil hinuli, di ba? So, yung delivery. So, it started, Mr. Chair, with yakal. It started with yakal. And that time, yung price ng yakal is 2 times. Kahit ngayon, is 2 times than the price of Jimelina and Acacia Mangyum. So that's not true. You're lying. Because Atty. Chito kanina, sinabi niya, natigil lang yung delivery ng yakal dahil nga binan, that's why nagliyak, then you decided na palitan na. So nagsimula kayo, hindi 38.
I think, Your Honor, we can check the contract whether it's based on the 38 or 70 pesos per board foot. The contract would actually be able to answer that. But I think yung naging basis po nila dun sa...
GM, I understand. No? In fact, I looked at that contract at 38 pesos. But then this 38 pesos contemplated yakal to begin with. So maybe at this point, when we were canvassing, yakal could have been at 38 pesos and Jimelina would have been half the price. So this is where we were taking off now because the original spec, we all know that yakal and Jimelina are not of the same price range. So if the specs of this original contract contemplated Yakal and they used Jimelina at the end, there is something fishy happening.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Chair,
Yes, Congressman Paduan.
my information, yung nakuha kong information is that yung isang contractor is using Yakal for a start. Yung Stone Ridge. Nandito ba yung representative ng Stone Ridge? Paki-confirm nga, you're using Yakal.
Ito,
nung nagsimula
nandito.
kayo.
Mr. Lim. Stonebridge?
Stone Ridge. Paki-confirm nga.
Sir, for the information of everybody, I was not administered the oath.
Sir,
Buti naman po, medyo... please stand up.
please
muna.
stand up, sir.
Good morning, Your Honors.
Please raise your right hand. Please state your name for the record.
Eliseo A. Aureliado.
Do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth in this inquiry, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Please sit down, sir.
Okay, Kong Paduan.
Please state your name and your position again.
Okay, the name is Eliseo Aureliado. I'm the Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer of Metro Stone Ridge Corporation.
Is it correct that you started using Yakal for the housing project?
Okay, sir, for the materials that we used, actually for the post, we used what they call tambulihan.
Tambulian is just the residency of Tambulian is just the same as Yakal.
I'm not familiar of the common name.
Okay.
I'm not familiar.
Let me just give you a background why we use tambulihan, Your Honors. Tambulihan is traditionally the wood posts used by the Bajaus for their houses. And for the wooden planks, we used pitong and lawaan. We never used gemelina or acacia majong. And we were awarded the project sometime in November of 2014. And by February of 2015, we already completed about 161 housing units out of the 200, and using these materials. And by by May 8, which was the contract termination, we already completed our project. And we did a turnover in the presence of local government officials, I think by the middle of May of 2015. This project, by the way, is in Talok Sangay. This is not in Rio Hondo, just to put it on record.
How much is the price of Tambulian?
Can I just get my records, sir?
Yes, okay. NHA engineer. Engineer Aureliado.
I'm not an engineer, sir. I'm a CPA.
Ah,
Your Honor.
okay, please proceed.
Sir, based on our record, we issued a PO for a supplier for tambulihan, round tambulihan, no? Round timber, for, I'll just get up my glasses now. Senior citizen, Your Honors.
It happens to all of us.
We issued a PO for 2,322,000, which is 900 per piece for 2,580 pieces of round timber with a dimension of 6 inches in diameter and 12 feet and above.
We bought this from a supplier in Basilan. Per board foot, I've forgotten my formula for a round timber, no? Because it's supposed to be length times width times the, but this is 6 inches radius. I don't know if there's any engineer around. You can figure it out. Divide that into 900. Roughly, it's about 100, I think, per board foot.
100 pesos.
I think so, if my mathematics is correct, no? Because as I mentioned, I've forgotten my formula already.
Mr. Chair, sabihin na natin, 80. But still, that is 2 times. Now, your contract, the project cost, how much per unit?
Okay. Let me just get my records. Okay. The original contract was for an amount of 40,970,000 for 200 units. So that's roughly dali lang po at the problem when you're a senior citizen, you forget to put where your things are. Here. Okay, it's roughly about 160,650 per house, per unit. 160,650 per unit. Because the cost for the entire 200 is 32,730,000. We have a footbridge cost of about 7.3 million.
Gaano kahaba yung footbridge?
Okay. Footbridge. May variation order kami dito, sir. It's about 810 linear meters.
Okay.
So that's roughly anywhere between 8 to 10,000 per linear meter.
Okay. Please proceed.
What else do you want to know, sir?
Congress.
Mr. Arellado,
Yes,
is your
sir.
company is based in Mindanao, in Zamboanga?
We have a satellite office in Zamboanga, sir. But our projects are mostly nationwide. As far as Ilocos Norte, all the way to Zamboanga, Cagayan de Oro, Iligan, and Bukidnon.
So your main office is still in Northern Luzon?
Yeah, Quezon City is our main office, sir.
Mukhang kabisado mo, Congressman Vice Mayor Wayne. Anyway, Sir Chair, ang nakapagtataka lang kasi yung contract niya per unit is 163, 168, while the NHA is telling us na yung isang kontrata is 144. So, but ganon?
Baka ibang number of units, sir. Yung kanila, ours is only 200 units.
Mr. Aureliado, you were able to finish your contract without deviating from the specification.
Well, that's what we thought, sir, because we used, instead of yakal, we used tambulihan. And fortunately, that's the wood that is being used by the Badjaus. In fact, in our methodology, we used Badjao labor because they are the ones who actually know how to put these posts in place, and they know how many posts should be there, not to really make the house sturdy.
And you never used Jimelina and
We never use it,
Acacia.
Your
Why is
Honor.
that?
I think the Gemelina thing, as you mentioned, I was trying to listen at the back, was actually discussed sometime in March. We were already almost done by the time. because we delivered all the units by May. So, as far as we are concerned, we were governed by the original specifications. And we understood that to mean to use hardwood.
Mr. Chairman.
Okay, yes.
Last question. So who allows you na lumipat doon from Yakal to Tambulian?
I'm not too sure about that, Your Honors, because from what I understand, Tambulihan, Apitong, and Lawaan are acceptable wood materials. No, we never considered Gemelina, Your Honor, because that was never, I don't think, it was discussed when the project was awarded to us. No?
Nakatayo pa naman, di ba?
Pardon me, sir?
Nakatayo pa yung ginawa mo?
Yeah, you can visit them, sir. You can stand, you can get the whole group here to stand on our footbridge. And we will see what happens.
And hindi kami malalaglag, ha?
Hindi, sir. Guaranteed yan.
Mr. Chair, matanong nga yung DNR. Ano yung NHA? Yung representative ng NHA sa Zamboanga. Engineer Indana. Engineer, sino ba nag-authorize sa kanila na from Yakal lumipat sa Tambulian?
Ay sir, sa plano po talaga ang Tambulian is yun ang nasa plano po pati sa specs. Tambulian po sa wooden post. Tapos yung sa good lumber sa bahay, Yakal and its equivalent po. Sa wooden post naman is Tambulian and its equivalent.
Oh, but yung ibang area, na ginamitan natin, hindi natin ginamitan ng Tambulian.
Nahuli po ng na continuous confiscation po hanggang umingi na po kami ng tulong by March. That's why the meeting came up noong March 31, 2015.
So Mr. Chair,
nakasuhan pa po kami pati regional manager ko sir ng illegal logging.
So Mr. Chair, it started with Yakal and Tambulian. It confirms that statement of Atty. Chito. Kanina, di ba? Now, natigil lang because nagkaulian. Ako nga duda pa ako doon. Bakit yung ibang area hinuli? Ba't yung kay Mr. Aureliado?
Okay, sir.
Natapos nila.
Sir, if I may answer, no? Because you might think that we were smuggling this thing, no? Just to put on record, all this shipment that we had from the supplier had the clearance of the DNR and with a safe pass from the Philippine Navy.
Yes, Congressman Winnie.
Sir, the appropriate, you have mentioned a while ago that the appropriate accepted material should be Tambulihan and Apitong and Lawaan. Di ba ho?
Yes,
that
sir.
That was also reflected in the specification approved by the NHA, sir?
That's what I understand, sir.
Okay.
In fact, sir, if you will indulge me.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Okay. All of these three kinds of accepted appropriate kind of wood sa mga stilts, no, are readily available sa market provided that we get clearance from the DNR. Tama ho yan, di ba?
I suppose so, sir, because we were able to obtain it.
So that is what I'm trying to extract from the contractor. Why did you not? Where's the contractor? Why did you not exert effort to avail of this kind of hardwood in the same manner that the Mr. Eliseo Aureliado obtained it?
That question is directed to Limestone. Yes, Mr. Lim.
Kasi yung isang contractor of the same project, no, different location lang, they were able to obtain that kind of material. Pero ho kayo, wala ho kayo nakuha. So you try to minimize the expenses by utilizing an inferior material that eventually caused the disaster. That is the subject of the investigation right now.
No, Your Honor. Kasi nung panahon po nung bago kami mag-start, mahigpit na po ang DNR noon. So, tsaka nung bago
Did
po
you
kami...
request DNR for this kind of material because you have a contract with the government?
No.
No?
No, Your Honor. Kasi yun,
Oh,
bago
yun.
po yung bidding,
So, you
Gemelina na po.
You did not exert any effort to obtain this kind of material that is acceptable with your contract and consistent with your contract.
Kasi Your Honor, yung sa estimate po namin, Gemelina na po talaga.
Hindi, no, what was written in your contract is the appropriate kind of material. Yung tambulayan,
Hindi po.
apitong,
Tambulihan.
or lawan.
No, Your Honor.
No.
Wala po sa kontrata namin, Your Honor.
Gemelina yung
Nasa amin.
naka-reflect
Yun po
po
talaga
sa
nasa kontrata po
sa
namin.
sa
Sa
contract po
BOQ po
ninyo.
namin yun. Opo.
So was that a product of the conversation or agreement from the LIAC? Kaya ginawa pong Gemelina?
Opo.
So impliedly yun talaga nasa kontrata nyo ay Gemelina. So
Tama
yun
po.
po ang inavail ho ninyo.
Opo. Yes
Yung
po.
Gemelina ba is cheaper than
38 po siya.
so to the NHA, may we now be appraised why you have decided to put in the contract yung Gemelina, which is an inferior kind of wood that might compromise the safety of the housing project?
Your Honor, subsequent na mga contracts na po after nung March 31, 2015 na LIAC meeting, in-specify na nga po ng mga engineers namin that the posts would use acacia manjum, yung mga diagonal bracing, girder and floor joists would be acacia manjum, footing of flooring would be Gemelina mahogany, wooden posts for housing on stilts would be acacia manjum, and all other structural members are Gemelina mahogany. So we had, because nagkakahigpitan na po doon sa kahoy, nagre-design po kami, kaya yung contract po na binid ay based na po sa pricing po nitong mga kinds of wood na to. And that was 38 pesos per board foot po.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Congressman Paduan.
yung kay Mr. Arellado started, yung notice to proceed is November 4, 2014. The LIAC meeting is March 2015. That's around 4 months after Mr. Arellado started with this project. Now, yung sinasabi nyo na wala nang available yakal o tambulian for Mr. Arellado, hindi totoo yun. Kasi 4 months after lang, na why LIAC decided na maging Gemelina na i-adjust yung price. Now, in fact, yung kay Mr. Arellado started November 4, 2014, and that is 4 months lang after the LIAC.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, may I ask Engineer Sikat to answer?
Okay.
Good morning po. Engineer Rodrigo Sikat po. Ako po si Jojo Sikat na na-mention ng NHA. I have with me some letters dated earlier than March 31 LIAC, wherein NHA has requested the local government unit to facilitate the entry of the wooden posts. That's why if you read the transcript, yun po yung discussion na mahirap na po ipasok or i-bring to Zamboanga yung mga kahoy na yun. And in the discussion, if we play it further towards the end, you hear another person talking. That other person po is Ms. Forrester Ben Acana, who is a senro of Zamboanga City. In fact, our letter here, when Engineer Indanan wrote me, I answered him is, this refers to her letter dated March 18, addressed to Her Honor, requesting for the assistance of the city government of Zamboanga in facilitating the approval of the entry into the city, the construction materials, wooden posts and good lumber necessary for the C3R House on Stilts project, which will be brought from the provinces of Basilan, Sulu, and Tawi-Tawi. In this regard, please be informed that said request was referred to po Forester Ben Akana, Senro Officer, Senro DNR 9, to help facilitate your concern, considering that this matter is within the jurisdiction of the Senro. Hence, please advise the parties concerned to secure the necessary clearances and requirements from said office. Attached is a copy of the the letter of the city mayor to Akana. That's why this is dated po March 30, 2015. That's why you can read in the transcript na na-discuss po yun. So sa huli po nun, ako po yung nagsabi, can we refer this to Senro? It was Senro now, Senro Akana, who said, Gemelina is a good substitute species. As to whether NHA acceded in substituting Gemelina in terms of yung tambulihan, hindi na po sa local government po yun kasi may epekto din po yun sa pricing and in the design.
Yes, I understand. No, I think the difference was between Stone Ridge was awarded November 2014, as opposed to sa Limestone. Ang award ng contract nyo was kailan?
2016 po.
January 2016. So
February po.
Yeah.
Sorry po.
Okay. Anyway, before there's some clarity already in the issue of why it had to be changed, no, from the original specification to Gemelina, is what I've been hearing is because pinagbabawal na ng DNR. My last question on this matter before we move there, we have two more topics to discuss, and at 1:30 may ibang committee na naman ang gagamit nitong kwarto na to. Just one last question before we take off from this topic. Yung Stone Ridge, November 2014 yung pag-award ng contract sa kanya. Yung Limestone was February
2016.
2016. Bakit 2 taon ng pamagitan? Wait, can NHA answer?
Yeah. Sir, originally kasi I think the number of house on stilts was just limited to 3,000 plus. But based on the numbers, kasi may mga sharers dun sa ng mga naapektuhan, the local government requested an additional number of house on stilts, which was not part of our budget. It was LGU who requested, and the national government provided additional funding. Kaya huling-huli na yung additional na Valle Vista 4 and the HK development. And this was actually 2015 na po nung naumpisahan. So wala ho sa original plano namin na
So these are additional housing units, kumbaga nagdagdag, di ba? And I think that the topic of this hearing is actually on those additional housing units kasi yun ang mukhang inferior. That's where they used Gemelina, and that's where I fell with Mayor and Congressman Celso. So yun ang, I think the failure was really on those additional units that were constructed with inferior design and inferior materials.
Yes. Because at that time po, very strict na yung DNR and ban na yung wood that was used in the first projects.
Well, that's the discussion that we're having right now. No, the fact is that it's inferior and it is causing some safety concerns for our residents over there. No, and which is why the clamor of the mayor that we do something about it, and then we hold people accountable. And I'm asking GM Escalada that moving forward, yung mga nag-recommend ng ganitong klase, siguro dapat pag-isipan natin kung sila pa rin ang pagkakatiwalaan natin to moving forward in constructing some of the houses in the future. Diba po? Anyway,
Last question.
okay, last question before we have one more topic. I think this was unearthed towards the latter part of our hearing, a deliberation last week. So last question before we move on.
Okay. It's now clear that we understand that the Gemelina is a soft variety of wood. And apito, yakal or tambulian trees are the hard wood species. So it's very clear there's a big difference between hard and soft wood. Now, what made your engineer or the NHA engineer, right, to decide that the softwood could be be used. Of course, your justification is there's no more supply of wood. But my question is, did the NHA engineer decide it themselves or they consult DPWH or the Bureau of Design about the substitution? Or they just take it upon themselves to judge and disregard the safety of these houses? So it's just a matter of like a question of competency of the engineers of NHA.
Yes, I think GM, no, yeah, we'll do something about it. Moving forward, I think we have to put on either pending the investigation, and Jim Escalado mentioned that it is not just on Zamboanga, it's also for the other housing project of NHA. And for those involved, to put them on preventive suspension pending the cases to be investigated, and make a recommendation on the contractors who are believed to have used substandard materials or otherwise some irregularities as far as the implementation of the contract. And in fact, sabi niyo nga, GM, may na-blacklist na kayo, no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yung favorite contractor ko sa Yolanda, blacklisted na ba?
Your Honor, I think we forward already 20 contracts for suspension, termination, and eventually the blacklisting. And out of the 20, Your Honors, I think there are 8 to 10 contractors involved because having multiple awards in the past, Your Honor. But for purposes of addressing the concern of our good congressman, I think moving forward, Your Honor, my task really right now is to ensure quality. In fact, I have strengthened already our CPES, the contractor's performance, Your Honor, on the ground. That is one strengthening move that we are doing right now to regularly conduct inspection, evaluation, and monitoring of all the projects of NHA. And for purposes of monitoring, Your Honor, I have created 4 task forces already to ensure quality, work efficiency, and craftsmanship, because that is also one area, Your Honor, that more or less NHA has failed in terms of craftsmanship because, of course, as far as the labor is concerned, with respect bringing in contractors to a foreign destination, the lack of core skills available on the ground may have also impact to the quality of our project. So we are monitoring along that line, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, GM. My commendation to you is only half, no, because I'd like to reserve the other half when it's implemented. So anyway, can we move to our next topic, Kong Celso? Okay, for those contractors, meron pa tayo mamaya, so we can discuss. Go ahead, Kong Celso.
Mr. Chair, towards the end of the committee hearing, there was a revelation made by the barangay chairman of Rio Hondo that there was a collection of 6,500. Actually, and what was presented was this document that has the seal of the city government, acknowledgement receipt. It says, this is to acknowledge receipt from the Department of Social Welfare and Development Office through the City Social Welfare Development Office, CSWD, the amount of 10,000 pesos as financial assistance, which I may use to pay for my electric and water connection at Samselco and Zamboanga City Water District, respectively. I shall not blame the city government of Zamboanga if electric and water service is not connected to the house due to my failure to pay Samselco and CSWD, and there was the receipt of 6,500. Now, going through the transcripts of the records of the last meeting, the mayor of Zamboanga said, Your Honor, can I ask a copy? But nonetheless, with what was revealed by the IDPs, we will have to be thoroughly investigated. This will have to be thoroughly investigated, and I would even ask the Commission on Human Rights to step on it so they can also be able to investigate this objectively. Our chairman responded, so Mayor, you are not familiar with this. This is something that you have no knowledge of. Pero yung social welfare kanina, nagsabi alam niya. Because there was a question of the CSWD officer that said alam niya but she had no authority, and so that sparked the whole thing. Then Judge Carbon said, I would like to read a resolution of Barangay Rio Hondo on this matter. We are surprised by this revelation, but we want to be transparent, etc., etc. And in fact, he said that during the second regular meeting of Barangay Council of Rio Hondo last July 25, 2016, the resolution to apply for electric connection was to present filterages, etc. In the end, Judge Carbon says, we don't know as this moment where the 6,500 went. That's why the Honorable Mayor wanted this matter investigated in fairness to everybody. But Barangay Chairman Mukaram cannot feign ignorance on this matter because this is a subject of a barangay resolution. In the end, the mayor said, Your Honor, we will have it fully validated because the receipts through the seal, though the seal is the city government Zamboanga, we cannot really ascertain as to the receipt and who is the person responsible for signing. That is why, Your Honors, in compliance with Attorney Corbon, which he said, we really wanted this to be investigated. Mr. Chairman, I think we have in front of us the person who actually collected the 6.5, and I think she is goes by the name of Esmeralda de los Reyes Samson, alias Blondie. I think she was sworn, she was given the oath of office. So, because the question was asked, where did she collect? Saan po kinolekta yung 6,500? So, Ma'am Blondie, Ma'am Esmeralda, can I ask where the 6,500 was collected?
Yeah. With indulgence, Kong Sal. So, before we proceed, just to put it in proper perspective, may I just ask from DSWD? There was a financial assistance of 10,000 coming from DSWD. Tama po yun?
Yes, Your Honor.
And this 10,000 financial assistance is given in cash
Yes, yeah.
to individuals affected. May listahan po tayo doon. Yan ang binibigay.
Yes, Your Honor.
And the intent for this 10,000 is for whatever they need?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, go ahead. What? Mayor, you would like to listen to the testimony first, or would you like to say something before?
Your Honors, with the permission of the honorable representatives, let's just make a manifestation as to the actions that was read by the honorable congressman. There was a LIAC resolution to include the accounts which is not yet covered by the C3R budget passed and with attendance of Undersecretary Cabrera then utilizing the 10,000. And I will ask Attorney Carbon to make the manifestations clearer. But on the part of the city government, Your Honor, after the meeting that was discussed here, we already had the CHR who's going to conduct full-blown investigation on this matter. Secondly, the city government has conducted its fact-finding committee meeting, which we have not yet finished, Your Honor, but are in the process. And thirdly, the National Bureau of Investigation is also investigating it as far as the criminal aspect. So the administrative charge, if there are any liabilities on the part of local government employees, is also being done. CHR, city government, and the criminal aspect is also being done by NBI. With your permission, may I ask Attorney Carbon to just lay the foundation, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, I'm in the process of asking questions.
Yes, I actually understand.
I am
think,
addressing certain questions to certain individuals. If anybody wants to make a manifestation, I think it should be done after the interpretation.
Understand, Counsel. So we understand. Let us first listen to the testimony of this lady, and then we will give you all the time, Madam Mayor. Go ahead, Ms. Samson. May you state your name, ano yung position nyo, tsaka...
Emeralda Samson. I am the facilitator for the IDPs.
Facilitator. You are
Yes po.
not employed by the local
No.
government or DSWD?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, go ahead.
actually, ikaw ang nagkukolekta ng 6,500.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Saan kayo kumukolekta? Saan kayo pumipwesto pag kolekta nyo ng 6,500?
Yung first time nasa CSWDO, then yung mga iba sa Housing Land Division.
CSWDO is city government.
Yes, Your Honor.
And housing is city government.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, may I ask if Maria Socorro Rojas is here? Okay. I have here a letter of September 23, 2016. You said you had no knowledge, or you had knowledge but you were not authorized. But you are writing to Engineer Despalo and saying this is reference to Board Resolution 191, series of 2015, 1998, series of 2016, etc., etc. In the end, you're saying, furthermore, please be informed also that the two recognized facilitator of the contractor, namely Emeralda Samson and Ahmad Amir Mohammed, will be the persons responsible to process their transaction. So, do you confirm that this is a letter that you wrote to the city engineer, confirming that you are confirming that Emeralda Samson is the facilitator?
Yes, Your Honor. I was then in concurrent capacity, the head of the Housing and Management Division, at the same time the head of the City Social Welfare and Development Office. So, in good faith, Your Honor, I have relied so much on the resolutions coming from the different barangays, allowing the payment or the electrical connection of the IDPs, and that is why I wrote that letter to ensure that they will be able to facilitate the electrical connection of the IDPs, Your Honor.
Okay, so, but
there was likewise, there was also a LIA resolution as to that. So it's really alleviating the plight of the IDPs, hence that letter to Engineer Despala, Your Honor.
My point is, in the last board meeting, you were also feigning ignorance. You were also saying, I know, but I have no authority. That's why I think Congressman Paduano was the one who questioned you. Anyway, may I know if Yaya Abdusalam is also present? Okay.
Can you come closer, please?
Were you administered the oath? Okay. Mr. Yaya Abdusalam, do you confirm that you are the executive assistant to the mayor, city mayor's office, in charge of the C3R chairperson?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Yahya Abdusalam Jr., Executive Assistant to the Mayor for Muslim Affairs and IPs concerned. Yes, I'm the Executive Assistant, but I'm not the chairperson of C-Chair. I'm just the officer in charge.
Okay, now, I have a letter dated October 26, 2016, again addressed to Engineer Despalo, and you signed as Yaya J. Abdusalam Jr., Executive Assistant to the Mayor, City Mayor's Office, C3R Chairperson. So, I suppose it is the Mayor, the C3R Chairperson. Yes. Okay, now, in your letter, you also said, Engineer Despalo, respectively forwarding to your office, your end, the herein attached list of awardees, etc., etc. And then in the end, you say, furthermore, please be informed also that the two recognized facilitator of the contractor, namely Emeralda Samson and Ahmed Amir Mohammed, will be the persons responsible to process their transaction. Do you confirm this?
Yes, Your Honor. I confirm it with the same reason as Ma'am Soki stated.
Okay. Now, the resolution of Rio Hondo was read in the last meeting. This was dated July 9, 2016. and resolved that is hereby resolved to request the Department of Social Welfare and Development and the local interagency committee LIAC to require the 3CR housing awardees to apply for electricity. Oh, sir. Oh, Joe.
Yes, we'd like to recognize the presence of our Majority Floor Leader. Please proceed, Gong Celso.
So this was dated July 9, 2016. Now, there was an earlier also resolution, also dated July 9, from Christian Muslim Owners Association, resolution authorizing the DSWD to effect the payment of some Selco electrical connection in the amount of 6,005. Again, so resolved to furnish, to authorize the DSWD to effect the payment, and also resolved to furnish this resolution to DSWD, to LIAC, and to all government agencies. Then you have another one dated July 9 also from Barangay Tulungato. Another one of Barangay Riondo, July 25. And Lustre Homeowners Association has a board resolution dated November 2016, a resolution informing our city government of Zamboanga, headed by Mayor Marisabel Climaco Salazar, to request of the request of Lustre Homeowners Association. And the last resolution is the resolution from Barangay Kasanyangan, which is dated January 8, 2017. Now, according to Judge Carbon, the Barangay of Rio Hondo was feigning ignorance. However, before all of these resolutions, there was a resolution from the LIAC itself, March 15, 2016. So that was prior to all these resolutions. And the resolution of the LIAC, it says, resolved, at is hereby resolved by local interagency committee LIAC in its meeting today to pass a resolution recommending that the 10,000 peso cash assistance would not be given directly to the IDP, but rather forms part of their back accounts and arrears to Zamboanga City Water District and some Selco, and to request further the restructuring of payments to enable them to apply for light and water. So actually, this 6,500 deduction does not really come from the barangays. The barangays issued their resolutions maybe to support the March 15, 2016 LIAC resolution. Mind you, March 25, the others are July 9, 2016, July 9, 2016, July 25, 2016, November 2016, and January 2017. Ma'am Esmeralda, ilan yung nagbayad ng 6,500?
2,652. 652, Your Honor.
So times 6,500, magkano siguro yun?
Nasa 17,500,000. Hindi po siya po, Your Honor, hindi po siya sabay-sabay. Nagbayad.
Hindi sabay-sabay?
Hindi po.
17 million?
Yes po.
Okay, ma'am. Maraming kontraktor. Di ba? Maraming project yan. Maraming kontraktor. Kasi sabi dito, ni Yaya, pati ni si Socorro, na ikaw yung facilitator ng kontraktor. Lahat ang kontraktor, ikaw nagpa-facilitate?
No, Your Honor, yung kuryente lang po.
Ha?
Yung kuryente lang po.
Hindi, yung kuryente, pero nakalagay dito sa yung nakalagay dito sa certification. Sino bang gumawa nitong certification? Yung collection. May seal pa ng city government. Sinong gumawa?
Ay, hindi po yan sa akin, sir.
Okay.
Ayun sa baba lang po.
Yung sa baba.
Opo. Yung sa taas sa DS yan.
Pero, bago ka makakolekta ng 6,005, bibigyan mo na yung sa taas.
Hindi po ako nag-release na yan. DSWD po.
DSWD o CSWD?
DSWD po nagre-release yan kasi sa kanila galing yung pera papuntang sa IDPs.
So, ma'am, I think the regional director is here.
Hindi ho kami nagbigay ng ganyang information, yung letter. Ang binabayaran namin ay sa payroll. Nagsasign sila sa payroll at yon ang nagbibigay kami.
Yes, Your Honor. May payroll din. Meron din ganyan.
Wala kaming ganyan.
Hindi ko po
If
alam.
it is sealed by the city, then therefore it is the city, not the DSWD.
So, can we ask Mr. Abdul Salam or Mr. Coro Rojas, what is what? How come there is this? It's saying we will not blame the city government for if electric and water services is not connected to my house due to my failure to pay some CELCO and CSWD. Saan galing ito?
I really do not know, Your Honor. I'm not privy to that document.
Mr. Abdul Salam? You're under oath, huh?
Yes. I don't recognize the receipt that you're showing me with the seal of city government, as we have no signature to that effect in either
Pero
of the two
nakalagay,
receipts.
releasing personnel. I don't know whose signature that is. And then there is the resibo. Itong resibo, 6,005 kayo nagbibigay?
Ako po yun, Your Honor.
Okay. Alam mo ba, itong nasa taas, sino nag-release? Ito yung preba na natanggap nila yung 10,000.
Kasi, Your Honor, every time may releasing, yan ang binibigay nila sa IDPs after matanggap nila yung pera.
Kapitan Rosdi, do you know who acknowledgement receipt?
Hindi ko alam, sir.
So,
with your indulgence, Conselso, DSWD, ano ang hinihingi niyong kapalit, di ba? Kayo ba kayo ang nagdi-distribute ng 10,000?
Yes, Your
Tama.
Honor.
And to put it in perspective, ilan ang binigyan natin ng 10,000?
Ang sa target family so namin is 5,587. Pero yung binigay ho
So,
namin
55
provided
million.
with 10,000 was 4,133 amounting to magkano na yun?
40 plus million?
40 plus million.
Yes, okay.
We received 58 million but only 41 million was disbursed.
All right.
We still have the 17 million with us.
Okay. And is it you that distributes the 10,000
Our staff
Your
distributes the money. And
money to the
sign
individual?
Yes. Your
Right?
Honor.
So your staff is the one that hands over 10,000
Yes.
pesos to the qualified
To the-
beneficiary,
yes.
right? What document do you hold or do you ask the beneficiary to sign?
We have the cash assistance payroll where their names are listed. The lists are being given to us by the city. No?
So yung beneficiary, wala silang hinahawakan na papel?
Meron no, yung may certificate of award, may mga required documents o kami, kailangan may valid ID sila.
Okay.
May certificate of award signed by the mayor, and then yung proof of tagging na house owner sila, and also the certificate of attendance for the social preparation.
Okay, those are the requirements
Yes,
coming
those
from
are the
them.
requirements.
Now, if you will give the 10,000, do you have a piece of paper that says received 10,000?
The cash assistance payroll.
So pipirma lang sila doon. So yung pirma nila doon signifies that they received 10,000.
Yes, Your
Okay.
Honor.
So this acknowledgement receipt that
We
is
do not
being
issue
it is not from the
acknowledgement.
SWD. Is this from the LGU? Hindi rin. Si Sakuri nangongolekta. Saan ang galing tong papel na to? Miss Samson?
Every time po may releasing, yun po ang binibigay after ibibigay nila yung pera. Then na may pirma po yan sa baba, yung beneficiary.
Sino nagbibigay nito? Hindi ikaw?
Hindi po ako.
Sino nagbibigay?
Yung DS po.
Kayo?
At this point, I want to manifest that we do not issue acknowledgement receipt.
Yes.
We just tell them to sign the cash assistance payroll.
So
No more, no less.
nung nagbigay ng 10,000 at kinolekta mo yung 6,500 kasi ikaw nangongolekta ng 6,500 eh.
Yes, sir.
So ang nangyayari nun, binibigay ng CSWD? Tama ba?
No.
Sino nagbibigay ng?
DSWD, ibibigay dun sa beneficiary, dun sa IDPs, pakatapos dun, pupunta sila sa akin, magbabayad sila ng kuryente.
Na 6,500?
Yes, voluntarily.
So sino ang nakita mong nagbigay nitong acknowledgement receipt?
DSWD po.
Sino?
Si Ma'am Bobot Manansala.
Sa ano pangalan?
Ma'am Bobot lang po ang alam ko.
Yeah, it's one of our
Yes.
workers, Your Honor. Yes,
It's one-
but we do not issue acknowledgement receipt. What I understand is that that is being given by the Housing Management Division. Yes. And it was given to our staff with the seal to facilitate things. But for the DSWD, it is only the cash assistance payroll that we require.
Siguro tawagan na lang kita Blondie dahil you are more known as Blondie.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yung pagkokolekta mo ng 6,500, sabi mo doon sa CSWD, minsan sa housing.
Yes, Your Honor.
Nakikita ka ba ng mga tiga-housing, si Mr. Jojo Abdusalam? Kilala mo si Jojo Abdusalam?
Yes, Your Honor, kilala ko.
Okay, so kilala mo si Mr. Jawo Jimenez?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, present ba sila? Yung pagkokolekta mo?
Every time payout po, wala si Jojo Abdul Salam. Yung C3R staff lang po.
Okay. Pero sabi mo, sa tagal mo nagkolekta, 2,000.
16.
2,000 for several months.
Yes, Your
So,
Honor.
parang siguro kung walang hindi ka kilala, baka karela empleyado ka. Dahil nandun ka sa opisina, pinapayagan ka, kumulekta.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Chair, I know my colleagues have many questions. I will maybe go for a second round, but
Okay.
more
All
or
right.
less,
Thank you,
I will
Conselso.
present all of this to you.
Curious lang ako, Ma'am Samson or Miss Blondie. Pagkatanggap mo ng 6,500, saan mo dinadala?
Ay, sa akin lang po, for following day, gagawan ko na po ng application nila. Kailangan ko na bilhin ng lahat ng kailangan nila.
Kailangan nila?
Ng
Ano yung mga
mga
kailangan nila? So
application.
almost 17 million pesos ang pumunta sa inyo.
Ay, Your Honor, hindi po yung sabay po. Yung first talaga, 30% lang. Then, pa isa-isa, dalawa. Then, for the second time, another 37. Then, isa, dalawa. Ganun lang po.
Okay.
Hindi siya sabay po.
On a staggered
Yes,
basis.
yes. 4 to 6 months, then meron naman ulit.
Saan mo dinala yung 6,500?
Sa akin lang po, hawak ko.
Hawak mo na?
Ihawak ko po. After release.
Diniposit mo sa bangko mo?
No, Your Honor.
Saan mo nilagay?
Sa bahay lang namin, kasi everyday may expenses po.
Sa bahay nyo?
Yes po.
Tapos, anong ginagawa nyo sa pera?
Wala, gastos din dyan sa application nila, sir. Sa wire.
So, itong mga gastos na to, itong mga electrical permit, ito affidavit nyo, no?
Yes, Your
The 6,500, sinasabi mo, mga 1,050 ginamit mo for the electrical permit, ito yung occupancy permit, city treasurer payment, and all those things. Some Selco, energy deposit of 1,000.
Yes, Your Honor.
Pagkatapos may mga ibang permits pa, no? 145 NHA permits, etc. Secondary drop wire, private electrician,
Yes,
250. Status change of 950. Tapos manpower staff of 535.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ito ginawa mo, sarili mo lang.
Yan talagang ginagastos ko po.
Pero ang tanong ko, sino nagbigay ng authority sa'yo para gastusin to mga bagay na to? Kasi kumita ka ba dito?
Yes, sir. Kasi yung 535 para sa amin mga staff ko.
Sa mga staff?
Yes.
Okay. Pero saan nanggaling yung authority mo para gawin yung mga yan?
From the IDPs, based to dun sa resolution nila.
Based on sa?
Resolution. Barangay resolution po.
Sa barangay resolution, sinabi, ikaw mangongolekta, ikaw magdi-dispense ng mga gastos na to, ikaw ang pipili at ikaw ang magbabayad? Pasok ba
based
sa
dun sa
resolution yun?
resolution nila, sir, na kukuha sila ng private facilitator para sa mga requirements nila. As we know na lahat ng mga almost yung sa Malbayo, hindi nila alam kung paano magsulat, magbasa. So they prefer to get facilitator para sa kanila.
Okay. Anyway, Mayor Beng, you you're investigating this issue, diba? You wanted to see the extent.
Yes, Your
and I
Honor.
guess you smell and you sense something amiss in this transaction, diba?
Yes, Your Honor.
You mentioned you wanted the manifestation and to say something.
Thank
Please.
you, Your Honor. We'll ask, with your permission, to ask Attorney Carbon to speak on the behalf of the city government, Your
Okay.
Honor.
Please proceed, Mr. Carbon.
Your Honor, after the May 16 hearing here, when Mayor Beng returned to Zamboanga City, on May 18, she ordered the city legal office to conduct an immediate investigation on this matter. On that same day, May 18, we took down the statement of Ms. Emeralda de los Reyes Samson. We also took down her affidavit. It's here with us, Your Honor, and we are ready to submit it to this body. Ms. Samson will confirm the fact that she was called to the office of the city legal officer and her statement was taken down under oath. We have a record of the statement, and after that we asked her to execute an affidavit. It's with us. And in that statement, she admitted having collected, not at one time, from 2,652 IDPs, 6,500 pesos each, amounting to more than 17 million pesos. And in that statement, she also said that she was able to, through her work, to facilitate the connection of electricity to 852 IDPs using the collection she made. We also interviewed Mr. Bue from Samselco. They are here, Mr. Biharano. They said that what was energized was only 732. But lately, Mr. Gamar Hassan, a director of Samselco and a representative of the IDP, got a certification from Samselco itself that more or less 1,000 IDPs have been connected with electricity through the efforts of Ms. Samson. Accordingly, it was Mr. Hassan, who is not only a director of Samselco, but also a representative of IDP, who asked Ms. Samson to facilitate the electrical connection of the IDPs. I think Mr. Hassan is here and was invited by this committee. And accordingly, in one of the meetings, Mr. Emiliano of Samselco said that Mr. Hassan, to assist the IDPs, will set up a one-stop shop. That is the words, to assist the IDPs in having this electrical connection facilitated through Ms. Emeralda. Director Hassan is here. He can shed light on how this happened. because Miss Emeralda was really introduced accordingly by Mr. Hassan to Mr. Abdusalam and Mr. Ma'am Shoki Rojas. That is why she had, according to her statement, a table next to the table of the DSDW employee who was handing out 10,000 pesos, and from that table, the IDP would proceed to the table of Miss Samson, where the 6,500 pesos was being collected. And this idea of collecting 6,500 pesos for electrical connection came about during the social preparation of the IDPs. Their clamor is really for electricity and light. That is why, in a meeting of the LIAC on March 15, 2016, where no less than Undersecretary Vilma Cabrera of this WD was present, and Attorney Araceli Solamilio of the regional office was also present, a resolution was passed recommending, the word is recommending, that the 10,000 pesos cash assistance would not be given directly to the IDP, but rather forms part of their bank accounts and arrears to the Zamboanga City Water District and Samsilco, and to request for their restructuring of payments to enable them to apply for light and water. Those barangay resolutions was an offshoot of this resolution where LIAC recommended that 10,000 pesos, part of the 10,000 pesos should be for electrical and water connection. And LIAC, as we have insisted during the last committee hearing, is merely a recommendatory body to coordinate several agencies. And since DSWD was the one actually holding the 10,000 pesos cash assistance, this recommendation was actually addressed to DSWD. Although when I interviewed Attorney Silamilio said that they had no part in this, they give out 10,000 pesos, and in the next table, 6,500 pesos is being deducted. And according to, as Ms. Samson said, and according to her, this deduction of 17 million did not come at one time. She did not deposit it with the bank. As soon as electrical connection can be done, she would be ready to pay out of the 6,500 that is in her hands for the connection.
Attorney Carbon, I'd like to ask a few questions. Sa DSWD Regional Director, were you there during the time this was being discussed sa LIAC?
Your Honor, I was very new then. I did not even know that it was a LIAC meeting. I just accompanied my USEC, Undersecretary Cabrera, and they were discussing already about this deduction from the 10,000, but I did not understand anything about it. But when it was discussed to me by Attorney Carbon, Judge Carbon, that was the only time that I knew. Now that was a LIAC meeting.
Okay, but you were present.
Nevertheless, we did not follow what they recommended. We just paid directly to the clients.
Okay, so in other words, it was not, you did not authorize any deduction from the 10,000.
Yes, Your Honor.
You gave it directly to the beneficiary, right?
Yes, Your
And
Honor.
as far as you're concerned, you gave the full 10,000 pesos to the intended beneficiary.
directly.
Whether there was a LIAC meeting or not, whether it was approved or not, it did not matter because your job was to give 10,000 directly to the beneficiary. Matanong ko lang yung kapitan. Yung kapitan ng ano, di ba? Na Riondo. Yung mga tao magkano ang tinatanggap nila? Kasi binabawasan sila ng 6,500. So, ang natatanggap nila is 3,500. Tama yon? So, never nila nahawakan yung 6,500. Hindi na, di ba? Kumbaga, binawas na bago nila mahawakan yung pera. Tama. So, bawas na siya. Pero, you passed a resolution saying that 6,500 will be allocated for electrical connection.
Tama yun, sir. Pero, gaya ng sinabi ni Attorney Carbon, may nauna pang LIAC resolution, sir, bago kami nagkaroon ng LIAC nung barangay resolution. Kasi nga, Your Honor, yung social prep na ginawa ng CSWD, tama po yung clamor ng tao na magkaroon ng ilaw. Tama po yun. Pero yung nagkaroon na po ng LIAC resolution na para gagawa, na i-recommend nila po na para mag-deduct ng 6.5, doon na po nagkaroon din po kami ng, para di mapatunayan na.
Sa tanong ko, doon sa LIAC meeting, nakalagay ba doon yung 6,500?
Hindi ko po nabasa yung LIAC meetings.
Saan ang galing yung 6,500?
Hindi ko rin alam.
Sa resolution nyo, 6,500 eh. Saan ang galing yun?
I think Your Honor, si Mr. Gamar Hasan, Your Honor, pwede siyang tanungin niyo kung saan nanggaling yung 6,500 na.
Sino ang tatanungin? Yes.
Si Director Gamar Hasan.
Director, okay, please identify yourself and respond to the question.
Good morning po. Ako po si Gamar Hasan, representing IDPs or focal persons during the Zamboanga siege until now. At the same time, director po ng SAMSELCO. So, pwede ko po i-relate muna yung history para mag-jive po yung lahat na pangyayari. Okay lang po ba?
Sige, pakibilis lang.
Sige. So,
dahil sisipahin na tayo dito ng alauna eh.
So, nung nagkaroon po ng release ng 10,000 noong 2015, mayroon po na-release na 1,600 household. Tapos, hindi po nila nagamit yung pera intended sana sa pag-apply ng ilaw at saka tubig. So, nung hindi po nila nagamit yung pera, hanggang nawaldas na nga po, saka po sila naglapitan sa akin kung paanong mag-apply ng ilaw, mag-apply ng tubig. So, saka po namin hinanapan ng paraan as IDP leader po sa ng Zamboanga. Tapos, may mga existing po tayong facilitator, gaya po ni Esmeralda. Since 2012, nag-facilitate na po sila ng electricity. So, nung banda po yun, si Esmeralda po humingi pa sana ng mas malaki doon sa 6.5. So, hanggang po na ano namin yung come up namin ng 6.5 para sa lahat po ng processing, ng application na hindi na po magpa-follow up yung IDP na isang bagsak na lang po ng kanilang pipirmahan tapos hanggang ma-energize na po yung kanilang bahay. So, hindi po ako pa naniwala sa mga IDP na nakokolekta ng 10,000 hanggang po nagkaroon kami ng pulong-pulong sa mga barangay. 6 na barangay po ang aking pinuntahan. Tinanong ko po yung mga IDP kung totoo bang nakatanggap kayo ng 10,000. So, kinonfirm nila po ito na galing sa DSWD nga at saka pinapirma din sila ng acknowledgement receipt naming the DSWD office. So yun po ang naging paraan o naging way kung bakit po kami naghanap ng paraan na para matulungan yung mga kapatid natin. So nung pumunta na po kami sa mga pulong-pulong, lahat sila po gustong magkailaw kasi alam nyo po sa 4 na barangay, mahigit kumulang 7,000 houses ang bahay dyan. Ang narilisan ng DSWD is more or less sa 4,000. Ang nag-apply lang po is 2,600. So more or less po, ang nagreklamo na walang ilaw is 4,000 more or less din. So malamang po yung pagpunta nyo sa Zamboanga, yung mga nagreklamo na walang ilaw, sila po yung hindi pa nag-apply, sila po yung naghihintay pa po ng kanilang 10,000 para maka-apply po ng ilaw.
Kaya malaki ang systems loss sa district po namin kasi marami din nag-illegal tapping. So hanggang na pag-usapan namin na kailangan magkaroon tayo ng barangay resolution para to make it official. Tapos ito naman po sa transaction nila isa private to private po silang nag-deal pati yung mga tao. Yung mga nakatanggap na po ng 10,000 previously na walang plano kung saan ibibigay, kinukontak nila po sa Esmeralda para mag-apply ng ilaw.
Naintindihan ko yung private to private. Pero ang problema, mukhang ginawa yon bago mag-consent yung private individual na i-engage yung services ni Miss Samson. Kasi kung private to private yan, dapat binigay muna, tapos sila ang magbibigay kay Miss Samson. Pero ito, we need held eh. Diba?
Ganun po nangyari, sir. Binigay po muna sa kanila yung pera, tapos yung ayaw po mag-apply, lumabas, tapos yung mag-apply, pupunta po sa kanyang mesa. Ganun po ang pangyayari.
Ganun ba, Miss Samson?
Hindi po sa pilitan ng pag-application.
So, hindi mali yung sabi ng kapitan kanina. So, yung beneficiary, nakakatanggap ng 10,000 talaga galing DSWD. Tapos may option sila whether i-engage yung services ni Ms. Samson or hindi. Tama ba yun?
Tama.
Right?
Tama, Your Honor.
So that's what's happening. So Attorney Carbon, as far as the city is concerned, that is hindi na kayo kasama diyan. That is outside the arrangement of the city government because it is a private to private transaction. Is that what?
Yes, Your Honor. In fact, I get it from Barangay Chairman Mukaram that the complaint of these IDPs is not about the 6,500 being withdrawn from the 10,000. Their complaint is really after giving 6,500, they are asking where is our light?
Yeah, yung isang nagreklamo last time.
The impression is given that 6,500 is voluntary.
So, yung nagreklamo last time was 2 years yata bago nalagyan. Diba? So,
yes, that is really their concern. Not about having been deducted 6,500, but having no light, notwithstanding the deduction of this amount.
Okay. So in other words, the city government did not sanction this arrangement.
Yes, Your Honor. That's precisely why Mayor Beng said she did not know about the withholding of 6,500. What she knew is this LIAC resolution passed in the presence of Asik Cabrera, Attorney Sulamilio. It was really made clear that Asik Cabrera was invited at the LIAC meeting. This is not the only matter that was taken during the LIAC meeting. The minutes of the LIAC meeting would show that Asik Cabrera discussed several things and about the deduction of no mention of the amount, portion of 6,500 was only one of the matters taken up during the LIAC meeting.
Okay, so parang private to private. Na, kanina sinabi mo na yung tao tumatanggap na lang ng 3,500. Pero ang sinasabi ngayon, binibigay muna yung buong 10,000. Tas kusang binibigay nila yung 6,500 kay Miss Samson.
Parang gano'n nga, sir. Yung pagkakaintindi ko, actually, Your Honor, hindi naman ako recipient, Your Honor, ng 10,000 na, sir. Pero yung sinasabi kasi, sir, ng mga recipient ng 10,000, pagka bigay sa kanila ng 10,000, may upuan daw doon, Your Honor, na kung magbabayad ka ng 6,500 o hindi. Parang ganon. So may mga instances, allegedly lang ito, Your Honor, minsan, pag magbigay ka ng na-release ng 10,000, minsan may pinipilit na kailangan mo magbayad ng 6,500. Kaya yun na yung nagreklamo, sir, ilang taon na siya nagbayad ng 6,500, hanggang ngayon wala pa siyang ilaw. Kaya nagkaroon na ng
issue kaya tayo nandito ngayon.
Opo.
Sige, Congressman Bato.
Mr. Chairman,
Good noon.
Before you proceed, we'd like to recognize, of course, Congressman Ron Salo and Congresswoman Castro.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. May I proceed, Mr. Chair? Okay, gusto ko lang pong maliwanagan ang proseso. So, I have the resolution BC-05 ng Local Interagency Committee. And I've read the resolutory proviso. Pass a resolution recommending that 10,000 cash assistance would not be given directly to the IDP but rather forms part of their bank accounts and arrears to Zamboanga City Water District and Samselco. So, first, DSW was present. I look at all the government officials present. So, in other words, nagpapakita lang po dito, Mr. Chairman, alam po ng DSWD, alam po ng ibang mga opisyal na hindi talaga ibibigay directly. Ang resolution na to, hindi ibibigay directly. Now, is that true? Is that correct, Attorney Sulamilio?
Yung pagbigay ng 10,000, no?
Yes.
Hindi ho namin finalo yung resolution.
So you did
What
not
we
follow
was,
this?
Yes. We gave directly to the clients themselves.
Okay. So you did not follow this resolution. Now, may I ask also, Attorney Carbon, what is the spirit and intent of this the committee? Why they passed this? And can you also enlighten me regarding the interpretation of forming part of the bank account? Does this mean that the beneficiaries, the IDPs, will not be able, just a moment, will not be able to get the entire 10,000 and instead that will be deposited in a certain account to answer for their water and electrical arrears?
With apologies, Your Honor, it's not bank account, it is back account.
Back accounts, yes.
Yes, back account. Samselco and Water District will not connect electricity and light unless previous house owners pays their back accounts, and many of them have back accounts.
Back accounts.
Yes, the
Arrears.
back accounts, arrears, Your Honor, before their houses were born, they have already back accounts with
Yes.
Samselco and Water District.
So ang intention po talaga nito, para magkaroon po sila ng kuryente at tubig, bayaran muna nila yung mga back accounts or arrears nila. Tama?
That was the clear intent and claimor of the
Okay.
IDPs during this social preparation after they have already occupied their houses, house without water, house without electricity, house without septic tank. That was the claimor.
So, but the committee did not provide for a mechanism on how this will be done. How will this be implemented?
That is true, Your Honor. According to Attorney Sulamilio, who was present when this resolution was passed, they did not follow anyway this resolution.
So,
and that shows that LIAC is merely a recommendatory body.
So DSW did not follow, but there's this resolution from the barangay, Rio Hondo. Di ba?
Yes, Your Honor, based on BC resolution.
Based on the resolution of the LIAC. Now, I am just wondering, where did the barangay get the amount of 6,500? Because it is obvious that, you know, different consumers, they have also different bank accounts. So there is no definite or certain amount that will be paid to Samselco or to the water district. Now, how did you get a uniform account of 6,500? Kapitan, paano po ba napag-desisyonan po ito sa barangay at nag-desisyon po kayo na 6,500 ang pambayad sa tubig at kuryente?
It was not, Your Honor, the decision of the LGU. In fact, in the minutes of August 4...
No, Attorney Carbon, I know that. I know. The LGU, the LIAC, I'm just asking the barangay captain now. Because in resolution number 4, series of 2016, there is now a definite amount here. 6,500 for electrical connection. So tinatanong ko ngayon, paano po na-compute ng barangay na bawat IDP ay magbibigay ng 6,500 para sa connection sa kuryente?
Your Honor, yung naging 6.5 po, hindi lang ako, Your Honor, ang gumawa ng barangay resolution. Lahat, 6 kaya o 5 kaming barangay naggawa ng resolution. Yun po ang pagkaano nagkaroon ng social preparation, sir. May nag-introduce ng facilitator. So nagbigay sila ng amount na ito yung 6.5 na ang dapat maibayad sa mga IDPs na mag-a-apply ng ilaw, Your Honor.
Okay. Ito po ba ay nakipagkonsultasyon po kayo sa SAMSELCO? At ito ba ang sinabi ng SAMSELCO kung sa 1,000 kayo, 6.5, bali 6.5 million ang cost ng connection ng kuryente diyan sa Rio Hondo. Ganun po ba 'yon?
Hindi. Wala kami naging...
Saan niyo nakuha yung figure ng 6.5?
Ang 6.5 nakuha namin ng figure, Your Honor, galing sa facilitator ng...
Saan po?
Facilitator na application, sir.
Sino po?
Si Miss
Blandy
Esmeralda po.
Okay. Tanungin ko po si Miss Blandy. Ma'am Blandy. Ikaw po ang tinuturo na nag-compute po ng 6.5. Paano po ba how did you arrive at that amount?
Yung sinisingil ko talaga is 10 to 15,000 because they are IDPs, marami sila, so binigyan ko ng discount.
Ganon.
Yes
Ganito po, Ma'am Blandy.
Binigyan ko ng discount,
Ma'am
actually
Blandy.
10 to 15, depende sa laki ng bahay.
Okay. Ngayon, ang tanong ko po sa inyo, kayo po ay sinasabing facilitator.
Yes,
Sino
Your
ang nag-appoint sa yung facilitator? Saan kayo connected?
Private po ako.
Kanino pong pribadong may korporasyon ka?
Wala.
O ano?
Sarili ko, isa lang po.
Kung baga sa sole proprietorship ka, sariling kayod. Ngayon,
Yes,
can you
Your
also
Honor.
describe ngayon itong negosyo po ninyong ito sa pagiging facilitator? Ano po ang ginagawa ninyo para sa pagiging facilitator?
Since 2012 po, ganun na po, may 2, 3 client ako, 4, 5, not only the SAMSELCO, pati titling, lahat na. Then, here comes after the siege, my friend called me na nagingin ng tulong dyan sa Lustre, housing.
Yeah.
Sabi niya, paano ba to? Sabi ko, is under government. I-inquire ko muna kasi hindi ko pasukin pag mahirap.
Bakit to? Mahirap ba, let's say, sa Zamboanga, kung ako maputulan ng kuryente, gusto ko magkaroon ng kuryente, mahirap ba ako magpakonekta at kailangan kita?
Kung bayaran mo ang bili mo, madali lang po.
Bakit
Yes po.
dito sa klase, dito sa Rio Hondo, dito sa IDP na to, bakit kailangan pa ang tulong po ninyo?
Most of them po hindi marunong magbasa, hindi din marunong magsulat.
Okay, wala bang sinabi sa city government na, oy, city government o kung sino mga ahensya ng gobyerno, hindi kayo marunong magbasa, pwede bang tulungan na lang? Walang ganon.
Yung mismo po IDPs naghingi talaga ng tulong sa akin.
Okay. So, anyway, okay. Granting na ikaw nga talaga, yan ang negosyo mo. Dito, this is a very unique business, in Zamboanga. Perhaps this is just peculiar to Zamboanga. Although, in other localities, ang tawag ko sa inyo ay fixer. Ganun po ang mangyayari. Pero dyan sa inyo, it has gained legitimacy as a sole proprietorship business. Okay. Dito po sa negosyo ninyo, paano nyo naman nasabi na 15,000 dapat? At nakapagbigay kayo ng discount. Bakit? Ano po ba ang gastusin?
Depende po sa laki ng bahay po. Kasi pag malaki ang bahay, ang dami po kayong appliances, so malaki din ang babayaran.
Malaki din babayaran saan po?
Energy deposit po sa SAMSELCO. Depende
Magkano
kung ilang
energy
outlet.
deposit sa SAMSELCO po?
Depende po kung ilang outlet po, pati lights. Ilang outlet.
Okay. So, ilang outlet, pagkatapos may...
ilaw, yes po.
Ngayon, magkano ang kita mo sa 6.5? Let's say, for example, sa 6.5, magkano ang kita mo?
Usually sa 535 po.
Ano po?
535 per applicant. Sa
535.
Yes
Okay. So, in other words, ang trabaho mo, ako mag-aayos ng connection mo sa kuryente.
Yes po.
Pagkatapos binibigay sa'yo, ako magbayad.
Yes po.
Kasi, hindi rin sila marunong mag-apply.
Yes.
Wala bang tumutulong, let's say for example, sa NHA o sa ibang ahensya para mag-apply po sila ng kuryente?
Tumutulong din sila, magsasabi sila kung saan magpunta, pero hanggang doon lang, di naman nila pwede samahin isa-isa yung mga IDPs papuntang city engineer, NHA, DPWH.
Nagtataka lang ako, Madam Blandy, kung bakit pare-pareho. Sabi mo, siguro naman may malaking bahay, may maliit na bahay, may siguro napakaliit na bahay, but pareho-pareho talagang 6'5" ang singil mo.
Kasi po, pareho-pareho din yung bahay sa mga steel houses and yung housing nila po. Pareho din yung laki.
So
Pareho
gustong
din yung
sabihin,
outlet sa
pareho
loob.
ang laki.
Yes
Pareho-pareho. Now, may I ask the city government, do you tolerate this kind of business, working to facilitate the electrical connection, which is supposed to be a responsibility of the government and perhaps also the electric cooperative? Do you tolerate this kind of business?
Yes, sir. Hindi ko pa naintindihan.
Hindi po, yung city government po. Tinatanong ko lang po ang
sorry.
city government.
Your Honor, never tolerate and will not tolerate this kind of practice.
Pero
But as
narinig na
Your
po
Honor,
ninyo ito.
please, with respect to where 6,500 computation came from, we have the minutes of the LIAC meeting on August 4, 2016, where Samselco said, for Samselco, application cost is 6,000 pesos. Mr. Bihrano said, for the IDPs who had already approved temporary connections, if they will transfer to permanent housing, there will be no additional fees. Mr. Bihrano of Samselco is here. He was the one who suggested in the LIAC meeting that the cost for electrical connection is 6,500. Engineer De Vista of Zamboanga City Water District is also here. For water connection, application cost is around 4,000 to 6,000 pesos. Maybe Ms. Samson just added 500 to the 6,000 suggested by Mr. Birano. He is here, Your Honor.
Sa kwan po, bilang lawyer, that is an objection po for being speculative, conjectural law yan. Di ba? Pag kung sa trial law tayo, speculation nyo yung sinasabi maybe. So, anyway, may I just ask the NHA, why is it hindi kasama dito ba ang electrical and water connection?
Your Honor, initially po gusto namin na but then DBM told us that it's not our mandate. Our mandate is merely housing. Kaya yung mga budget po for the construction of the STP was given to LUWA. Yung sa kuryente naman po binigay po sa Samselco. So ganun po ang nangyari po dito.
Okay, before I proceed, Mr. Chair, I think we have to take note of that. Because, housing, that includes electricity, water, and all other accessories. Otherwise, we cannot have decent housing. See, that is a very convoluted, distorted logic by the DBM. You give us houses without electricity and water. Can we reside there? No. So, dapat po, I think, Mr. Chair, we have to take a very strong stand on that, Mr. Chair. Henceforth, any housing project should include those things.
Yeah.
Hindi pwedeng hindi mandate ng NHA.
Jem, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. I think in the principle balay, I think building adequate. The adequate would mean available power as well as water. The assertion of Congressman Batabucabi, I affirm that, Your Honor, because certainly the housing should be built with basic utilities and amenities as well. But apparently, in all of the proposals of NHA, Your Honor, normally it is DBM and other national government agencies will question, in effect, the components of our housing project. And in effect, we now transfer, we now download, or even at the very least, DBM will cut it out from our own original proposal. And that happened in Zamboanga, Your Honor.
So good, you have to rectify that. When you make your proposed budget for 2019, we will put it as a provision to include all those facilities. In
We are
fact,
happy, Your Honor.
so the last time we even included some sort of facilitator or something to do all of this kind of what we're talking.
Yeah, we're happy, Your Honor.
I agree with Kong Batugabe.
Yes, because it is quite revolting, Your Honor. You know, you're going to build houses without any electricity and water. And that is not housing. Perhaps even animals will not reside there because there's no water. So, hindi pwede po yan. So, ngayon, Sam Selco, ito na po ang tanong ko sa inyo. Dito ba sa, totoo ba yun, na 6.5 ang hinihingi ninyo? Mr. Tubali ba? O, sino ba? Who's from Sam Selco?
Right. Please
Yes.
come forward.
Can you identify yourself? May I ask Mr. Chair if he has already taken his oath? In that case, may I move, Mr. Chair, that Mr. Bue should be sworn in by this committee. Sworn in by this committee.
Okay, Comsec, please administer the oath.
Please raise your right hand, sir. Please state your name for the record. Do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth in this inquiry? So help you God.
Yes, sir.
Please take your seat, sir.
Okay, Mr. Bue, magkano po ba? Is it true that ito pa ang sinabi ninyo na 6.5 dapat ang sinisingil ng Sam Selco para makoneksyonan po natin itong mga taga Rio Hondo?
As far as 6.5 is concerned, we have nothing to do with that.
Ay, wala, hindi po kayo.
Wala. No, kasi ang sa amin...
Sabi nila, sinabi mo raw eh.
No.
Mr. Chair, with the indulgence of Mayor Batugabe, Mr. Chair, yung representative last time was the general manager. And now, he's being represented by the other person. And in fact, for the record, on the last hearing, tinanong yung GM, ang sabi niya, mga 1,000 lang.
I think
Now,
he will validate
Mr.
that.
Chair, saan yung GM mo? Ngayon.
He was instructed me to attend in his behalf.
And you are the?
I'm the officer in charge of the transmission distribution department.
Okay, but anyway, you validate that 1,000 is what you require as a deposit for the application.
Not only deposit, that's one month deposit. That includes the the 1 month deposit, no, as energy documentation, the IDs, inspection fee.
So lahat-lahat 1,000 lang,
yan,
hindi lalagpas doon.
Opo. More or less, nandiyan.
That includes yung electrical connection.
Electrical connection, yes. The
Yes.
fee for the electrical connection.
Fees, yung
connection
sa bahay mismo.
Yeah. From the electric pole to the house.
So,
up to the meter, yeah.
So ang gustong sabihin, yung lahat ng taga Rio Hondo po, ang singil lang po ng Sam Selco is 1,000.
Average, nandiyan, 1,000. More or less 1,000.
Na-connection na ba ng kuryente ho yun?
Karamihan meron naman, based on our the data that we have, no, about 732 already energized for new
Okay,
connection.
the 732. Now, in view of that, Mr. Che, may I ask also that we require Sam Selco to submit the list of these IPDs, IDPs, including the amount paid for electrical connection. Para maalaman po natin talaga kung magkano ang connection ng kuryente.
Just to be, to get my facts straight, no? Bayaran kita ng 1,000. Yung kuryente aabot na sa bahay ko.
Depends on the inspection made by our inspector, no?
Pero pareho naman lahat to eh. This is the one design.
May mga structures, wala pa tayong kuryente. Hindi pa naabot yung mga distribution facilities kasi
Kaya nga, pero yung residente, pag nagbayad ng 1,000 sa'yo, makakabitan ako ng linya na magkakaroon ako ng kuryente. 1,000 is all I need to pay.
Yes. Depende sa itong klase mga construction, I think we will have to
Yeah, dito sa 1,000 plus na kinabitan nyo, di ba? 1,000 lang yun, kabit na yung kuryente.
Opo.
So yung collection na 6,500 na sinasabi, sobra-sobra.
Ewan ko kung saan ang ibang amount, no? For some circle, average to nandiyan sa 1,000.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Congressman Paduano.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Would you like to say something in this topic? Yes, good. Kayo yung dalawang facilitator, di ba?
Kami po yung nag-organize sa community para magkaroon po ng facilitator. Kasi gusto ko lang po idagdag, yung 1,000 po na sinasabi ng Samselco is one of the amount be needed to be paid. Yung mga remaining amounts po, kailangan po natin mag-secure ng mga requirements, ng mga notarizations, yung mga...
Attorney Carbon, how much does the city charge for the electrical connection?
For endorsing the applications to Samselco, the city engineer's office charges an amount more or less 300. More or less, Your Honor, it will not reach
300 pesos. So,
300 pesos.
Yan lang ang kailangan nila. Occupancy permit, electrical permit, etc., etc.
Dadaan pa po yan sa mga private engineer po, sa mga electrical engineer, binabayaran din po yan. Tapos yung mga materials needed, mga 90 to 100 meters po, aside sa binibigay po ng Samselco, din po isasali sa expenses ng 6.5. Tapos may mga materials din po pinapabibili ng ang Samselco para ma-complete po yung application. Before po pumunta ng Samselco, dapat kumpleto na po yung mga requirements at saka yung mga materials bago po nila kukunikan. Ganun po ang pangyayari.
Yes, we have with us Deputy Speaker Congressman Hernandez. Yes, Kong Paduan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd just like again to confirm if Mr. Abdul Salam and si Ms. Rojas, will you confirm writing this letter to the city engineer's office? You confirm that? Okay. Now, Mayor, did you authorize both Mr. Abdul Salam and Ms. Rojas?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. That's for the record, Mr. Chair. The Mayor did not authorize Abdul Salam and Ms. Rojas. Now, why? How did you know itong si Ms. Blandi at saka si
Sir,
Ahmad
Your Honor,
Amir Muhammad?
Being the author of RA 9710, the Magna Carta of Women, I would like to respectfully appeal that we address persons according to their names. Thank you.
Yes, well noted.
Thank you. Anyway, Mr. Chair, nandito ba si Mr. Ahmad Amir Muhammad?
Wala, sir. Wala, Your Honor.
Wala. Pero kino-confirm mo na siya yung partner mo dito.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Ms. Maria Socorro Ruas and Mr. Yahya Abdusalam, bakit yung dalawa ang pinili nyo na maging facilitator without the authorization coming from the mayor?
With due respect, Your Honor, hindi po kami ang pumili kay Ms. Esmeralda at kay Amir as facilitator. They were introduced to us by Mr. Gamar Hassan. So, nag-execute po kami ng sulat kasi nandyan na po yung mga application ng IDPs. So, ayaw din namin maantala yung pagpakabit ng ilaw kasi pag naantala, kami po ang babalikan.
Do you confirm the statement of Mr. Abdul?
Tama po yun sa Your Honor, based po sa kagustuhan na din ng mga IDPs sa mga pulong-pulong po namin at saka sa mga barangay resolutions. Na magkaroon po ng facilitator, tapos nakahanap po kami, tapos inintroduce ko po sila sa city para formally po na magkaroon po ng ng recognition or sabi natin na alam ng city housing na meron nang existing facilitator para tumulong po sa mga IDPs.
Ang tanong ko nga, bakit yung dalawa ang nirecommend nyo sa kanila? It turned out, may problema. Kinonfirm ng electric cooperative na 1,000 lang, sinisingil niya ng 6,500. And kanina, may isang kusing, wala na, inamin na rin na sa kanya pumunta. Yung pera, walang pumunta dun sa city officials. Now, bakit yung dalawa?
Yung 6.5 naman po, hindi lang po ang gastos sa Samselco ang kailangan. Gagastos din po sa pagbili ng wire, sa pagbayad po ng processing, sa mga notary, sa mga private electrician, at saka sa mga pag-organize. At hinahakot din po nila ang IDPs from communities to Samselco at saka sa mga ibang offices on their own expense po.
Hindi nga eh. Kasi si Miss Blandy umamin na she has collected around 17 million out of the 2,652 beneficiaries of DSWD. Payout 2,652. That is around 17 million. Pero kinonfirm kanina, well in fact, kahit ni Atty. Carbon, he confirms that only 700. Now, Mr. Carbon is saying na may 1,000 na nga certified by the electric co-op na 1,000 na. But nevertheless, wala ngang one half yon sa 2,652 na nakolekta niya. Di ba? 2,652 beneficiaries, IDPs. Kinolektahan niya. Ang nakabitan, 732 lang. Ngayon, sabi nga ni Atty. Carbon, it's around 1,000 certified by the electric cooperative.
Your Honor, ongoing po ngayon yung pagkakabit, yung kung pagkakabit po ng ilaw at saka yung based po sa certification ng aming general manager, ano po yung cause ng delay.
Hindi nga eh. It started 2016. 2 years na ngayon. Di ba? Kailan ba tumigil yung huminto yung payout ng DSWD for the IDPs? Hindi, yung kailan huminto? The last one.
December?
2017 ho ang last time.
Oh.
November 2017 was the last time that we paid.
November 2017. Ngayon, June of 2018. More than a year. Yung 2,652 na kinokolekta niya hanggang yun, 732 lang. Sabihin na natin, 1,000. Tama si Atty. Carbon. Hindi pa nga nangalati. And then tapos, Mr. Chair, yung sa dalawa namang city officials, sige, sabihin na natin, nirecommend ni Mr. Sino ba yun? Raman? Mr. Gamar. Now, may investigation ba kayo yung dito sa facilitator before giving him the authority to be the facilitator of this project?
Your Honor, before po nagkaroon ng in-introduce yung facilitator, Mr. Gamarasan as IDP representative or IDP leaders in Zamboanga City has attended several social preparation. So he proposes directly to the IDPs. So as to the decision whether to avail with the proposal of Mr. Gamarasan, it's up to IDP to decide. Wala na po kami doon.
Pero ano kasi ito mga badyaw, di ba? Prone sila doon sa kalokohan ng mga facilitator, pero kung tutusin, fixer nga di ba? Now, supposedly, yung city government has to protect, di ba, the interests of the badyaws. And recommending this to as facilitator, may problema rin kayo because this is an official document. And without the authority coming from the mayor, sumulat kayo, not informing the mayor about this letter. Di ba? May liability ba kayo? Wala.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Ano po yung last? May
liability ba kayo? Wala. May pananagutan ba kayo? Wala. Kasi you send a letter to the city engineer giving the authority to the two facilitator without the knowledge of the city mayor.
Sa tangin namin, Your Honor, with our work, kasi diretsong pumupunta sa amin yung mga IDPs. Kami po ang nakakasalamuhan nila, nakakaharap nila. Lahat po ng complaint kami yung sumasalo. So one of the complaint na doon, yung pangangailangan nila sa elektrisidad. So sa social preparation po, nung nag-propose si Gamar, lahat po ng IDP, wala pong kumontra. Nandun po ang city official, nandun ang Zamselco, nandun ang CSWD, nandun ang DSWD, nandun ang NHA, nandun po lahat.
Walang kumontra na yung dalawang facilitator
Yes
mag-facilitate?
Po. Yes po, Your Honor.
Tanungin nga natin si Cap. Do you confirm, Kap? Kinokonfirma mo ba yung statement ni Mr. Yaha Abdusalam?
Actually, sir, sa social prep, hindi ako nakasama sa social prep, Your Honor. Hindi ako naka-attend ng social prep, Your Honor.
So, hindi ka nakadalo dun sa social prep?
Hindi ako nakadalo, Your Honor.
Anyway, Mr. Chair, the city government as of now is making their own investigation. So, I hope, Mayor, gawa natin to ng hakbang at heads must roll. Not only sa iba pang agencies, but of course, in the city government.
Your Honors, if I be allowed to read. As Mayor of Zamboanga City, I appeal to the members of Congress to join us in our efforts to seek justice in all matters. Remember, Your Honors, that we were here because of House Bill 1709. Let those responsible for the lives taken, families displaced, and all the victims of the siege be held to account. And any other persons, be they careless employees or uncaring officials, shall be held to account as well. We appeal to Your Honor to take a hard look and identify the true culprits of this defective housing construction earmarked for the IDPs. They have already suffered enough. It is time to stop using their pain for personal gain. We are here with the truest intention to find and bring before justice the persons and agencies culpable for these IDP housing disasters. Solutions must now be found, Your Honors. I lament, Your Honors, yesterday, and I would like to take the opportunity to express the sentiments of the city of Zamboanga regarding the order of release of 96 MNLF accused for the Zamboanga City attack by Regional Trial Court of Pasig Branch 158. Your Honors, despite the efforts of the City of Zamboanga through Honorable Carbon and the team here present of the City Legal, before the Supreme Court with prayer for the temporary restraining order, stopping the release of the accused MNLF, the Regional Trial Court Branch 158 still issued an order releasing 96 MNLF fighters accused of all mayhem and destruction in the attack upon our city in 2013. The efforts of the city appear to fall on deaf ears. To date, the Supreme Court has yet to issue any temporary restraining order. The release was a result of the plea bargain agreement entered into by the Department of Justice and some of the MNLF accused over the objection of the city, which resulted to the lowering of the penalty imposed on the accused since their imprisonment had already exceeded the penalty agreed upon in the plea bargaining agreement. The scars of the 2013 crisis remain, Your Honors. Justice for the victims, displaced families, the dead plus the 344 who died in transitory sites, the wounded, the orphans, the traumatized remain elusive. Justice has not yet been served. As a city, we are concerned about the threat to peace and order currently enjoyed by the people of Zamboanga, posed by the court's actions. The attack and the siege deeply struck at the fabric of our beings and the city life. Our unity was attacked and divisions were fermented. But through our collective efforts of rebuilding a better Zamboanga City, we as a city have united to show to all that we are one Zamboanga City. And yet we continue to live in a shadow of that crisis. Damage is visible up to this day. Part of a recovery effort fell to alleged corruption and incompetence. Evidence today in the recent housing scandal, in the efforts to provide housing victims of the siege. These efforts were undertaken at the national level, not our local one. Who is to be held accountable for this? I rest your honors. Vaya con Dios.
Thank you, Mayor. This is precisely why we're here today, and I recognize the new administration headed by GM Escalada of the National Housing Authority in moving towards rectifying the failures of this project. We have clearly seen some of the shortfall of from the planning to the use of materials and to the implementation. And moving forward, I have urged the National Housing Authority to act on this fast and to put those people accountable on either preventive suspension or file the necessary cases that needs to be addressed for us to be able to give justice to the affected people of Zamboanga. With that, we are running out of time. We were supposed to tackle one more topic, which was concerning the contractors. Unfortunately, ang daming mga congressional hearing na nagkakasabay-sabay, and this room will be used by the next committee, no? So we will give. Okay.
Short.
There will be one more meeting, so I would beg the indulgence again of especially our contractors to bear with us. We would like to get to the bottom of this. We will hear from our last two congressmen from Zamboanga City.
Yes,
Kong Manix, go ahead, and then
Yes.
Kong Celso.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. There was a challenge made by Her Honor the Mayor. This representation of the 2nd District of Zamboanga will file pending the resolution later or tomorrow regarding the release of that 96 MNLF fighters. Rest assured that this representation will never forget and will never abandon the city of Zamboanga, particularly the 2nd District, together with the entire officialdom. I will file the resolution.
Thank you. Kong Celso.
Mr. Chair, just two short points. All of this need to facilitate or fix comes from the fact that there is no occupancy permit. Sa Mselco, hindi magkakabit yan ng kuryente kung walang occupancy permit. So, anyway, that will be the topic of the next hearing. We already discussed this partially, why no occupancy permit. But the fact is that even in the letters of Jojo Abdusalam and Maria Socorro Rojas, even the letter of Mr. Abdusalam to NHA, there is a letter of NHA here saying that they are furnishing ANEN to the board resolution as a requirement. An applicant must first secure a certificate of occupancy from the office in order to have that power connection, in order ANEN to this. So they were asking for temporary connection. And so how can you have a temporary connection kung hindi rin magbabayad ng 1,000? So connected yan sa 6.5. Now, anyway, the chairman said we'll have another committee hearing. I hope the same resource persons are invited because we're not yet finished. Now, Congressman Batucabe said, yung facilitator is another term for fixer. Kung finifix, meron binabayaran para i-fix. So, I will ask Ma'am Blandi, Ma'am Esmeralda.
Yes, please address the proper name.
Okay, Ma'am Esmeralda. Para gumalaw yung mga papeles, meron ba kayong binayaran sa ibang opisina? At kanino? Under oath kayo ho?
Private engineer, Your Honor. Pati yung mga certification, sa mga tao ko lang ang binabayaran ko. Sila ang kukuha nun.
So, Nothing in any office. Kasi normally, sa opisina, kailangan, bago gumalaw, at ang dami nito, ilang thousand, 2,000,
Yes, Your Honor.
wala kayong binayaran. Mating kanino?
Anong ibig niyo sabihin?
Para pag imadali yung papel o para makakuha ka ng permiso.
Lahat naman po, wala silang occupancy. Wala sila lahat. Lahat ng Kwan Housing, sa City Housing, walang occupancy. Lahat po temporary yan.
Hindi kaya walang occupancy.
Lahat yan sila po temporary. Sa still houses po, temporary connection ang nilagay namin.
Anyway, I will not put you under more pressure. I will just wait for the next hearing.
That for the next hearing, if ever, can we just have just identify only the number of people, because we have been spending so much. I do not know if you know the frustration na release na yung MNLF, and yet sa city, ikaw lang ang lumaban. Ang mga representatives natin sana man lang tumulong sa amin. Pero wala po sila wala po kami doon kasi gusto namin makisali po dito. Bukas po, there's another hearing in the Senate. This is already the 4th hearing that we will be attending. So I appeal on behalf of the people of Zamboanga that I believe, as I have believed in the integrity of this House, of which I preserve as Deputy Speaker, that to just speak on the certain number of people, because we need to be where we are wanted most, and the people of Zamboanga need us to be there, Your Honors. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, we will take note of that, and we were trying to get to the bottom of it as fast as possible, which is why we called everybody. But in the succeeding hearing, obviously we did not finish our intended agenda. We will just specify who will be the resource person needed at that time, and we will not bring everybody, knowing that there is some limited time for us.
And also, Your Honor, to answer in good faith, the city government has triple investigations. One, from the city government for administrative case. Number two, criminal liabilities through the NBI. And thirdly, the Commission on Human Rights. And through which forum the honorable members feel that they can also serve as a resource from the result of the investigation, we would really welcome you. But as we talk, I'd like to ask that we also dispense with the hearing and also tackle the more important issue on the responsibility of substandard housing, Your Honors. Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Yes,
Isang
last.
question na lang, baka kasi hindi na natin maimbitahan si Madam Esmeralda, no? Okay, ma'am, Madam Esmeralda. Okay. I refer, pwede yung tingnan, alam po niyo yung affidavit po niyo, no?
Yes,
Nabasa
Your
ko
Honor.
yung page 2 ng affidavit niyo, nandun po yung breakdown ng gastos
Yes, Your
ng
Honor.
6,500. Dito po sa breakdown, ilan po dito ang may resibo? May resibo ba to? Yung sa breakdown, gusto ko lang malaman ko.
Hindi ko na rin tinago, sir, kasi as I know, private, sino na magtanong sa akin ng
tama
mga
po.
resibo.
Okay lang po yan, kahit hindi yung tinago. Pero sabihin lang po ninyo, alin po dito sa mga items na to ang may resibo at yung iba wala?
Yung wire.
Yun po ang may resibo.
Kasi may latest ako bumili ng wire, baka yun may
Ay, hindi po. Ang gusto ko lang sabihin, kahit wala na kayong resibo, pero itong sa lahat ng items na to, alin po ang nagbibigay ng resibo at alin ang hindi?
Sa wire din po, may resibo yan.
Yung lahat na to, electrical permit, walang resibo.
Sa wire at tungkol sa electrical may resibo yan. At sa city treasurer may resibo yan po.
City Treasurer. Ano ba binayaran mo sa City Treasurer?
That is worth 253.
Okay,
Dapat
so
yata
ganun lang po.
BIR ang tanongin natin eh.
So, ganun lang po. So, for the record, ang may resibo lang dito, yung sa City
official.
Treasury,
Yes.
yung drop wire,
Meron yun.
and then, yun lang, ano?
Yes, yan po. Yung
Yun lang yun.
isa lang sa drop wire. Tapos yung sa resibo sa electrical, sa
Selco.
sa application galing sa city engineer, may resibo, steady yun doon, di yun pwede mawala. Kasi yun
So,
ang base din ng Samselco na nabayaran doon.
So, yun lang po ang may resibo. All the, yung lahat ng iba, walang resibo
Wala
lang.
na po resibo.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chair.
I understand that we are...
Very
okay,
short
last
lang.
GM before...
For information lang to the committee as to the all persons in attendance, NHA right now has a major policy shift. The mandate of NHA is production and financing. Never in the history of NHA that we maintain. Because over and above the issues, Mr. Chair, whether it's a design issue, project implementation issue, technology, all of us have our own individual houses. Half of this room are contractors. Mayor Bing and myself, I came from a local government unit. My question is, over and above technology, over and above construction, over and above quality, the bigger issue, actually, Mr. Chair, is maintenance. Because just like any other houses, any bridge for that matter, maintenance is the real issue. And that is very obvious in the Zamboanga experience. Even though it's substandard, but then again, maintenance is another issue. Every time we have our own houses repaired, every 3 years, 5 years, we repair our own houses. In fact, what I'm saying to the regional managers, you require all the beneficiaries to repair their own houses because never in the history of NHA we conduct maintenance. Neither the common facilities, our contractors are here. We normally return over major facilities, open spaces to the local government units. Now, I was challenged by Mayor Bing early on for the quality, and this I will also accept that challenge. And in return, I'll challenge Mayor Bing. After we're able to prepare, rectify all of this, I'll also turn over the facility, the open spaces, the footbridges to the local government unit of Zamboanga and all others where projects of NHA are located for purposes of maintenance because NHA can never maintain it all throughout the life of the project. That is all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, GM. But of course, we will have to consider lifespan. No? Hindi naman po pwede na bukas bumabagsak na.
Yes, that's
so
right, Mr. Chair.
there is also some sort of quality control on the construction that we will do, that it will last at least a decent amount of time.
Thank you,
with
Mr. Chair.
that, I think it's more than lunchtime. So,
Mr. Chair, move to adjourn. So move, Mr. Chair.
Okay, any objection? Hearing none. Thank you, everyone. This meeting is now adjourned.